4, 3, 2, 1. We are live now.
Good evening, everybody. Welcome to Maharashtra Orthopaedic Association MOA week, second day. Today, we are with us Yogi ji Bharat Gupta as a speaker and Dr. N.J. Karne sir as a speaker. Yogi ji will speak on role of yoga in prevention of diseases, and Dr. N.J. Karne, who is MOA Secretary, he will speak on ego as a science for body and mind fitness. We have today with us our MOA President, Dr. Gadegone sir, our EC members, Dr. Prashant Tonpe, Dr. Kiran Savji, Dr. Eknath Pawar. Today's moderator, we have Dr. Sunil Nahata sir, and coordinator is Dr. Prashant Tonpe. I request our MOA President, Dr. Gadegone sir, to give welcome sir.
Good evening, all participants of this very prestigious webinar on yoga and its relation with the prevention of diseases. I welcome you all, Maharashtra Orthopaedic Association viewers and members, OrthoTV viewers and members, and all over the India, those who are interested in prevention of diseases, mostly preferably orthopedic diseases. Now, the MOA is Maharashtra Orthopaedic Association is founded on 1st May 1983, and each and every year we celebrate a MOA Day week. And in this ongoing webinars and the progressive teaching programs for all masses of the Maharashtra Maharashtra, we are arranged a very good program for all 7 days. Now, two of this kind, this is the yesterday we had a inaugural function at Aurangabad, and today we have arranged 2 lectures for the benefit of those who are viewing this webinar. Our secretary, Dr. Narayanji Karne, he is going to deliver a very interesting lecture on a mind-body balance, and yoga guru Dr. Shri Bharatji Gupta ji will tell us what are the importance of the yoga, what are the importance of the asanas, and what is the importance of the various chakras. So this deliberation is going to last for 1.5 hours, and I request all viewers of this, those who are joining this group, please get the benefit of this very important webinars, and the whatever we are getting all important deliberations from a very well-known speaker. I welcome Dr. Bharat Gupta ji and Dr. Narayan Karne to go ahead with the first lecture that is will be developed by the Swamiji, and then after finishing within half an hour or 45 minutes, Dr. Karne will deliver his deliberations and importance of body-mind fitness. Thank you very much, and thank you all viewers. And if you want to, Karne sir, if you want to speak 1 or 2 minutes.
Yes, sir, I request. Thank you, Gadegone sir. Yesterday, as there was physical inauguration, our secretary, Dr. Karne sir, he was busy in Delhi with IOA meeting. As we all know, we are celebrating this year Maharashtra Orthopaedic Association Foundation Day and MOA Week with the theme Love Fitness and Prevent Orthopedic Diseases. I request our Secretary Dr. N.J. Karne sir to give his welcome address.
Thank you, Dr. Pramod. Respected Honorable President of the Maharashtra Orthopaedic Association, Dr. Gadegone sir, our guest Bharat Gupta ji, and my executive committee members. On behalf of Maharashtra Orthopaedic Association, I welcome all delegates as well as the viewers to this wonderful program of the MOA Day week. It has already been elaborated that this week is commemorated because of it is a foundation day of the Maharashtra Orthopaedic Association around 37 years ago. And we celebrate this whole week. And the theme of our Honorable President is Love Fitness. That is, the fitness is very, very important so that it can help you to prevent the orthopedic disease as well as sometimes to get the best result from the orthopedic diseases. It is going to be a week-long program, and Dr. Pramod Shinde and his team has worked continuously for and they have done very hard work to develop this program. And I hope, and rather I am sure that this program is going to be benefited to all the patients as well as the doctors also in their whole life. Thank you very much. I hand over to Dr. Pramod Shinde. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, Karne, sir. Now I request our executive member, Dr. Prashant Tonpe, sir, to introduce our first speaker, Yogi ji Bharat Gupta, sir. Prashant, sir.
Thank you, Pramod, sir. I first welcome our chief guest, Yogacharya Bharat Gupta ji, for this program. And I welcome all Dr. Narayan Karne, sir, our secretaries, and all our other executive members and all viewers for this program. And I first thank you, Dr. Wasudeo Gadegone ji, sir, for organizing this program and giving all of us an opportunity to have this wonderful time with Yogacharya Bharat Gupta ji. I am very honored and proud to give introduction for the Yogacharya Bharat Gupta ji. Yogacharya Bharat Gupta ji is born in India. He is now 72 years old. His spiritual name is Yogi Satyanand. He is an engineer and retired from Steel Authority of India as Assistant General Manager in 2009. He is the sincerest and prominent disciple of Swamiji Ramdev Maharaj. He has a rich and vast teaching experience of yoga for 36 years in India and 12 years at USA, Australia, New Zealand, England, and Nepal. He completed Masters in Yoga from Kavi Kuluguru Kalidas Sanskrit University, that is KKSU. He also teaches various subjects of yoga to the students of MSc Yoga, MA Yoga, PG Diploma Yoga at KKSU and other colleges. At present, he is pursuing PhD going from Yoga Sanskritam University, Florida, USA. He is associated with many national and international organizations and universities. In his journey, he received various awards and achievements. To mention few, he was awarded prestigious Indian of 2021 by GPAIN organization. And also he received Indian Fame Award of 2021. He was awarded Bharat Yoga Ratna 2021 in Yogasana Sports Federation Cup 21. He received a Dronacharya Award for teaching yoga at national and international level. He also received gold medal in individual Yogasan Online World Cup Yoga Competition 2020 and also in Yoga Sports Federation Competition 2021. He was also awarded Yogacharya Award from USA and Ayush Medical Association. He was also honored by various organizations of Australia, New Zealand, USA, England, and Nepal, and in India. The list is very long. Before finishing my introduction, I would again welcome our chief guest, Yogacharya Bharat Gupta ji, for this program. And I also thank him being present here to share us a thought of and blessing on his the great occasion. Thank you.
Thank you,
एक
Dr. Prashant,
गोष्ट
sir.
सांगावीशी वाटते प्रशांत, भरत गुप्ता जी से मेरा रिलेशन 30 साल से है. मैं जब से चंद्रपुर में आया और वो चंद्रपुर थे, निस्वार्थ निशुल्क प्राणायाम योगासन सिखाना उनकी हॉबी है. And that has attracted me, and I remembered me after the 20 years of my he is now in America most of the time, in Australia, and because of his relatives and sons and daughters are there. So we are welcome, and this is a very prestigious webinar he is going to give us, and a practical tips and in a very simple language. You can ask him in Hindi, Marathi, and English. There is no problem.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, Gadegone, sir. I thank Dr. Prashant Tonpe, sir, for introduction. Now I request our first speaker, Yogi Satyanand ji, Bharat Gupta, to deliver his talk, Role of Yoga in Prevention of Diseases. Sir, you can start your screen, share screen.
Okay, thank you very much, everybody.
Share
First
screen,
of all,
sir, share screen first.
okay. Is it okay now?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So thank you very much.
Sir, full screen, full screen.
Full screen. Oh.
Okay, this
Yes,
is good.
Okay. Thank you very much, everybody, for giving me an opportunity to share my experiences with all of you, all respected doctors. I know you are very, what you call, intelligent, the cream of the society. It will be my honor to share with all of you, and also the participants who have joined from the other organizations, other cities, and like that. First of all, let me give my thanks, sincere thanks to Dr. Gadegone sir. He was so kind enough. He told about me so much, but I know because he is very good and pure person, pure soul, and he is doing lot of social activities with as a selfless service. I have admired him when I was in Chandrapur, and we all citizens of Chandrapur appreciated his activity and his team activity regarding the promotion of not only the modern medical science, but also the yoga science and alternative medicines also. He's having so good contacts with everyone, and by his initiative only I got the Chandrapur Gaurav Puruskar from MOA. So I'm really thankful to him. I am also thankful to all of you, respected Secretary Dr. Naranji Karne, then our convener with whom I was associated from so many days, Dr. Pramod Shinde ji, and Dr. Prashant, who has nicely informed about me to all of you. I'm not so great and a student, and I'm studying and I'm just sharing what I learn from the granthas and our literature with everyone. It is my, you can say it's my hobby. So without giving more time, let me shift to my subject. The subject is very interesting. Actually, initially, when I talked with our respected honorable president of MOA, that I will share 10 minutes on each subject like Ashtanga Yoga, then Panchakosha and the chakras. But later on, I realized that it will be very hard to understand all these things, because this individual topic takes 2 to 3 hours. So I decided but the Pancha
Is there any net issue, Bharat ji? Poonam? Poonam?
hello.
क्या हुआ? Net
Sir,
का problem?
Bharajji, is there any net issue with yours from your side?
आवाज नहीं आ रही.
फोन करो ना.
हाँ, मैं करता हूँ सर.
नेट इश्यू आ गया होगा कुछ तो। प्रमोद कांटेक्ट हुआ क्या उनसे?
कांटेक्ट हुआ है, प्लीज वो पूनम से बात करनी पड़ेगी. सम एरर हैज ऑकर्ड.
प्रॉब्लम इशू आ गया हमारे इसमें.
नहीं नहीं, एरर हैज ऑकर्ड. इज टेलिंग दैट द पेज इज डिस्प्लेइंग the address is not proper. Some unknown error occurred. You join from browser. Hello Poonam, are you online?
Yes, sir.
The Swamiji is saying that some error occurred and join from your browser. Error code something 1010. What is the problem? Hello.
Yes, sir. We are able to see the screen, but now it is not visible.
No, actually he left. He has left automatically, and now he is trying to rejoin. But it is saying that the address is not proper and he is not able to join.
Okay. Should I send Zoom link on chat?
Yeah, you can send.
Okay.
Pramod.
Yes.
If there is a problem, we'll start with Karne sir. There is no problem.
नाही, करणे सरांनी 6 ला बोलणार आहेत. काय सर, करणे सर 6 वाजता बोलणार.
करणे सर रेडी आहे का तुमचा? फोन करके देखना.
Even if you send the link on the chat, and even if you send the link on the chat, he will not be able to read it. So it is better to send the link on his mobile number.
Yes, I will just ask Neeraj.
तर पाहू सर आपण, नाही तर मग तुम्ही स्टार्ट करून घ्या. तुम्ही स्टार्ट करा.
माझ्याकडे काही प्रॉब्लेम नाही, पण ते जरा इंटरप्टेड झाल्यासारखं होईल. त्यांचं झालं तर बरं होईल.
हाँ सर, पासवर्ड डाल दीजिए, प्लीज ज्वाइन कीजिए. यस.
त्यांना एक लिंक त्यांच्या मोबाईलवर पाठवून द्या.
सर ते जॉइन करता है. ही जॉइनिंग. यस, पासवर्ड टाकतात ते.
Link on the chat, and even if you send the link on the chat, you will not be able to read it. So it's better to send the link on your mobile number.
Yes, yes.
ठीक है. He is joining. Message मिळाला, he is joining.
हाँ, he joined.
Okay. Swamiji, you continue.
Continue, Swamiji. Hello.
Next slide.
Hello.
Continue, sir. Continue.
मेरी आवाज आ रही है सभी को?
हाँ, आ रही है।
ओके। तो आज का हमारा विषय रहेगा पंचकोशा मीन्स 5 योगिक बॉडीज। और ये जो इसका रेफरेंसेस अगर हम देखते हैं तो इसमें उपनिषद का वर्णन किया गया है, जिसमें खास करके तैत्तिरीय उपनिषद में हम लोग इसके बारे में चर्चा करेंगे। और दूसरा जो हमारा जो पंचकोश है वो योग वशिष्ठ जो बहुत बड़ा ग्रंथ है उसमें भी दिया गया है। और ये जो कंसेप्ट है तैत्तिरीय उपनिषद में जो दिया गया 5 बॉडीज योगिक बॉडीज का, पंचकोश का, इसका हमारा जो कॉलेज है स्वामी विवेकानंद योगा अनुसंधान संस्था बैंगलोर, जो कि इंटरनेशनल लेवल का कॉलेज है, वहां पे इसके ऊपर काफी शोध किया गया, काफी रिसर्च किए गए और एज ए थेरेपी करके वहां पे लोगों को ट्रीट किया जा रहा है। तो मैंने आज सोचा है कि हम लोग इसी विषय पे बात करेंगे ताकि बहुत इंटरेस्टिंग है ये। तो आप लोग देख रहे हैं कि जैसे सामने स्क्रीन पर सबसे बाहर जो रेड कलर का है वो अन्नमय कोश है, द फिजिकल बॉडी व्हाट वी सी ईच अदर। ओके, देन द अदर बॉडी ऑफ द येलो कलर, दिस इज द बॉडी बाय विच our physical body works, and then there is a inner one more body, one more kosha, that is called manomay kosh. It is relative with our mind. और ये हमारा जो मन है, आपको सभी को पता है कि आजकल जो तनाव हो रहे हैं, साइकोसोमेटिक डिजीज हो रहे हैं, वो हमारे मन से ही मन का ही उसके कारण ही हो रहा है। तो ये जो मन है वो हमारा प्राणमय शरीर और अन्नमय शरीर, ये दोनों को चलाता है। ये बहुत इंपॉर्टेंट है। अब ये जो मन है ये बहुत चंचल है, मीन्स एक जंगली घोड़े के समान है, उसको हमें पालतू बनाने का है। तो कैसे बनाएंगे? तो उसके अंदर हमारा एक विज्ञानमय कोश है जो हमें ज्ञान देता है, जो हमें नॉलेज देता है, क्या सही है क्या गलत है। जो कि आज फॉर एग्जाम्पल हम लोग लेते हैं कि आज हम जो चर्चा कर रहे हैं तो हम लोग एक ज्ञान हासिल कर रहे हैं कि व्हाट इज पंचकोश, how it is related with the disease, which type of yoga will be helpful for preventing the disease and that. So this is a knowledge. So आप बोल सकते हैं नॉलेज बॉडी है, ये विज्ञान में कोश है। अब विज्ञान में कोश के अंदर जो पर्पल कलर का आपको दिख रहा है दैट इज आनंदमय कोश, मीन्स सत्य चित्त आनंद, इट्स ए ब्लिसफुल हैप्पीनेस जिसे बोलते हैं, तो वो है। और वो हमारे आत्मा के जस्ट फर्स्ट कवरिंग है। फिर उसके ऊपर हमारा विज्ञानमय कोश का कवरिंग है, उसके ऊपर हमारा मनोमय कोश का कवरिंग है, उसके ऊपर हमारा प्राणमय कोश का कवरिंग है, और उस सबसे आखिरी में जो हम दिखते हैं वो अन्नमय कोश है। तो इसके बाद में और भी मैं समझाने के लिए बता रहा हूँ जो जनरल पब्लिक है उनके लिए, कि सबसे अंदर जो स्टार दिख रहा है वह हमारी आत्मा है, और उसके आजू बाजू का जो आत्मा का स्वभाव हरदम आनंदित रहने का है। तो हमारे जो आनंदमय कोश है वो प्रयत्न करता है कि हमारा आत्मा और खुद को एकदम ब्लिसफुल रहे। और उसके ऊपर जो कवरिंग है विज्ञानमय कोश, अगर हमारे अज्ञानता क्या कारण, ऐसा बोलते हैं कि अज्ञानता ही प्रमुख कारण है सभी द्वेषों का, है ना। तो वो अगर हमें अज्ञान समाप्त हो जाए और ज्ञान अगर प्राप्त हो जाए हमको, तो फिर हम मन को अच्छी तरह से कंट्रोल कर सकते हैं। हम समझ सकते हैं कि हम कौन है, ना हम शरीर है, ना हम मन है, हम तो एक आत्मा है ना। तो जब ये समझ जाते हैं तो फिर हमको बहुत इजी जाता है कि सब चीज हमारी जो कर्म है, हम कर्म के फल से भी बनते नहीं है, हम निस्वार्थ जो हमारे जितने भी हमको हमारी जिंदगी में ईश्वर ने हमें कर्म दिया है प्रारब्ध के अनुसार, वो हम जब करते रहते हैं तो उसमें अटैच नहीं होते, उसमें हम स्वार्थ की भावना नहीं रखते, उसमें हम अपने स्वार्थ रूपी फल की अपेक्षा नहीं करते, हम निस्वार्थ सेवा करते हैं। ये हमारा विज्ञान में कोश की खासियत है, जब हम समझ जाते हैं कि हम खुद कौन है। और उसके बाहर जो हम देख रहे हैं मनोमय कोश, जो बहुत ही चंचल है, जो ही सब दुख का कारण है, है ना। तो वही मन को सही तरीके से निर्णय लेना चाहिए, तो वो बुद्धि करती है, और बुद्धि हमारी इंटेलेक्ट है, वो हमारे विज्ञान में कोश द्वारा संचालित होती है। और उसके बाद में जो मन है, हमने देखा है जब मन विचलित होता है, जब हम बहुत तनाव में जाते हैं, स्ट्रेस में जाते हैं, तो क्या होता है, हमारी ब्रीदिंग रेट डिस्टर्ब हो जाती है, फास्ट हो जाती। क्यों होती है? बिकॉज इट इज रिलेटेड, डायरेक्टली रिलेटेड विद द मन। जैसा रहे मन, है ना, वैसे हमारे विचार होते हैं। और ये जो हमारा ब्रेथ है, हमारी जो श्वास है, जो हम प्राणायाम से लेते हैं, ये श्वास जो है, इट्स ए एनर्जी बॉडी। ठीक है, तो एनर्जी बॉडी होती है कि हम जो भी शरीर में हमारा जो बाहर जो हमारा शरीर जो दिखता है, जैसे हम एक फूड लेते हैं, खाना खाते हैं कुछ, तो वो जठर में हमारे स्टमक में चले जाता है, और उसको पचाने का जो काम है वो हमारी प्राणायाम कोश करता है, यानी एनर्जी बॉडी करता है। वो वहां पे ऑक्सीजन सप्लाई करता है, वहां पूरी एनर्जी सप्लाई करेगा। और हमारी जितने भी 13 जो बहुत महत्वपूर्ण हमारे मेडिकल सिस्टम्स है, एज पर मॉडर्न मेडिकल साइंस, वो हर सिस्टम को जो ऑपरेट करने का काम है वो हमारा प्राणमय शरीर करता है। ये तो अन्नमय शरीर तो एक जस्ट एक, हम क्या बोल सकते हैं, एक कंप्यूटर है, पर सॉफ्टवेयर जो है वो सब अंदर अलग अलग सॉफ्टवेयर दिए गए हैं। तो ये फिजिकल बॉडी एक मशीन है जिसको ऑपरेट करते हैं हम लोग इसके द्वारा। तो आज इसके बारे में हम चर्चा करेंगे। तो पहले जानेंगे, जैसे मैंने आपको बताया कि हमारा अन्नमय कोश क्या है, तो फिजिकल बॉडी है। इट इज नथिंग बट इट्स अ कॉम्बिनेशन ऑफ मसल्स, बोन, कनेक्टिव टिश्यूज, ऑर्गन्स वगैरह, है ना। और इसका कनेक्टेड हमारे अर्थ और वाटर से, यानी पृथ्वी तत्व और जल तत्व से इसका ज्यादा संबंध होता है। जस्ट इन शॉर्ट मैं बता रहा हूँ ताकि थोड़ा सा हम लोग समझ जाए। उसके अंदर का जो कोश है यानी बॉडी है, जिसे हम लाइफ एनर्जी बॉडी कहते हैं, वो उसका काम है कि एनर्जी देना, लाइफ एनर्जी देना। एंड प्राणायाम कोशा कंट्रोल्स ह्यूमन सिस्टम्स लाइक रेस्पिरेट। जैसे मैंने बताया कि 13 महत्वपूर्ण मेडिकल सिस्टम जो होते हैं, फॉर एग्जांपल रेस्पिरेशन हो गया, डाइजेशन हो गया, सर्कुलेशन हो, एक्सक्रेटिव हो, रिप्रोडक्टिव, ऐसे सभी को पूरा का पूरा ये कंट्रोल करता है। इसलिए आजकल की इसमें आसन से ज्यादा, योग आसन से ज्यादा प्राणायाम को इसलिए महत्व दिया जा रहा है कि अल्टीमेटली अभी हम जो लाइफस्टाइल है और जो हम कलयुग में, इस युग में रह रहे हैं, तो हम देख रहे हैं कि बचपन से लेके बूढ़े तक, जब तक मरते नहीं है तब तक हम स्ट्रेस में रहते हैं। तो हाउ टू मैनेज दैट स्ट्रेस? तो पहले अगर हम लोग अपने आप को रोज अगर प्रैक्टिस करते हैं, तो ऑफ कोर्स अभी क्या हो रहा है, हमको स्ट्रेस क्यों आता है? क्योंकि हमारी कैपेसिटी वो स्ट्रेस को हैंडल करने की कम है, इसलिए वो नेगेटिव उसके इफेक्ट होते हैं। और फिर कार्टिसोल्स और उसके फैमिली के जो हार्मोन्स है ये रिसाव होते हैं, और हमारी सब इंडोक्राइन सिस्टम को डिस्टर्ब करते हैं, हमारे ऑर्गन्स को सब डिस्टर्ब करते हैं, हमारे सिस्टम्स को डिस्टर्ब करते हैं, जिसके कारण हम फिर कोई ना कोई बीमारी के शिकार हो जाते हैं। तो जब हम रोज योगा करते हैं, प्राणायाम करते हैं, मेडिटेशन करते हैं, योग आसन करते हैं, यम नियम का फॉलो करते हैं, तो क्या होता है, रोज अगर हम प्रैक्टिस करते हैं, इट्स एक्ट्स लाइक ए मेडिसिन। तो आप रोज एक प्रिवेंटिव मेडिसिन ले रहे हैं, तो आपकी जो क्षमता है ना वो कई गुना बढ़ जाती है। अभी तक जो प्रॉब्लम आपको ऊपर हावी होते थे, आपको नेगेटिव स्ट्रेस निर्माण करते थे, अभी आपकी क्षमता ऐसी है कि ऐसे ऐसे जो प्रॉब्लम्स आते हैं आप उसको आराम से हैंडल कर सकते हैं, बिकॉज यू हैव इंक्रीज्ड योर पॉजिटिव एनर्जी। तो ये जो क्षमता है, ये रोज हम अगर अभ्यास करते हैं तो ही आपको मिलेगी। अगर हम बोलेंगे कि हफ्ते में हम 2 दिन या 3 दिन करेंगे, आई हैव सीन दिस कंसेप्ट, सिली कंसेप्ट एवरीवेयर इन फॉरेन कंट्रीज। वहां बोलते हैं 3 दिन करो योगा, ऐसा नहीं होता है। हम रोज खाना खाते हैं, रोज सोते हैं, रोज एंटरटेन होता है, सब कुछ रोज करते हैं। तो योग क्यों? वो क्योंकि हमारी प्राण शक्ति को हमको बढ़ाना है, तो उसके लिए रोज करना बहुत जरूरी है। दवा कभी वैसी है, रोज अगर दवा लेंगे तो इफेक्टिव रहेगी। बोले आज भूल गए, कल भूल गए, हफ्ते में 1 दिन ले लिए, 2 दिन ले, तो आपको बेनिफिट मिलेगा ही नहीं। तो इट इज लाइक दैट ओनली। और इसका कनेक्टेड हमारा फायर और वाटर से है। तो यहाँ पे मैंने प्राण के बारे में थोड़ा सा विश्लेषण किया है कि हमारे 5 प्रकार के प्राण हैं। सबसे ऊपर का जो देखते हैं उदान है ना, ये है फैकल्टी ऑफ थिंकिंग, क्योंकि ब्रेन इसके अंदर आ रहा है हमारा, है ना। फिर उसके नीचे जाते हैं प्राण है फैकल्टी ऑफ परसेप्शन, है ना, हम लोग जो क्या परसीव करते हैं उसके बारे में। फिर अपान जो होता है फैकल्टी ऑफ एक्सक्रीशन, हम बोलते हैं ना अपान वायु। जब हम कुछ आसन वगैरह करते हैं है ना, तो उसमें अपान वायु भी निकलती है। फिर समान है, इट्स अ फैकल्टी ऑफ डाइजेशन। तो जैसे ऊपर सबसे ऊपर उदान है, कंठ से लेके तो ऊपर हेड के ऊपर तक, फिर उसके नीचे कंठ से लेके हमारे हृदय तक, हार्ट तक, और हार्ट से लेके जो नाभि है वहां तक हमारा समान है, ठीक है। और वो हमारा डाइजेशन का काम करता है। फिर उसके नीचे हमारा अपान है, नाभि से नीचे लेके नीचे तक जो भी पेरिनियम पार्ट है वो हमारा एक्सक्रीटरी सिस्टम उसका काम करता है। एक व्यान करके जो प्राण होता है उसका काम है कि जो भी हम फूड लेते हैं या ब्लड सर्कुलेशन होता है, एवरीथिंग जिससे एनर्जी पहुंचाना है, वॉट सब जो भी ट्रांसफॉर्मेशन ऑफ, तो वो ब्लड के माध्यम से, तो ये व्यान करता है, सर्कुलेशन ऑफ एवरीथिंग व्हाट इज रिक्वायर्ड बाय आवर सेल्स। देन उदान जो मैंने आपको बता दिया है, तो इन शॉर्ट मैं आपको बताने वाला था। अब चलते हैं हम मनोमय कोश। इट्स ए इमोशनल बॉडी वी कैन से, है ना, ये तीसरा कोश है एंड इट करस्पॉन्ड्स विद द आवर मन, हमारा जो मन है ना। और जो भी हमारे विचार आते हैं वो कैसे आते हैं, सेंसेस से आते हैं, हमारी जो 5 सेंसेस है ना, उससे आते हैं। जैसे हम आंखों से देखते हैं, नाक से सूंघते हैं, जीभ से टेस्ट करते हैं, कान से सुनते हैं, स्किन से टच करते हैं। ये जितने भी विचार आते हैं, भावनाएं आती है, सब जाके हमारे मन में स्टोर होती है। फिर मन को क्या करना है, अगर वहां पे नॉलेज है तो वो सही डिसीजन लेगा, अन्यथा हम थोड़े से रॉन्ग डिसीजंस भी ले सकते हैं, जिसके कारण हम फिर दुख हमें प्राप्त हो जाता है। और इट रिप्रेजेंट्स आवर मेंटल एक्टिविटी, इमोशन एंड थॉट प्रोडक्शन। नेक्स्ट चलते हैं विज्ञानमय कोश, जिसके बारे में मैंने आपको बताया कि जितना हम डेवलप करेंगे, जैसे आज हम लोग अपने आप को वो कोश को डेवलप कर रहे हैं क्योंकि ज्ञान ले रहे हैं कि क्या सही है, ताकि हम सही निर्णय कर सके। ये हमारे इंट्यूशन को रेज करता है, इंटेलेक्ट बढ़ाता है, विजडम देता है, विवेक बुद्धि देता है, क्या सही है क्या गलत है। सो इट इज वेरी वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट। फिर आगे हम बताएंगे लास्ट में कि ये हर बॉडी को कैसे हम डेवलप कर सकते हैं ताकि हमारी वो बॉडी की क्षमता 100% रहे, है ना। तो ये इंटेलिजेंस, इंट्यूशन एंड इंसाइट से रिलेटेड है। और क्या सही है क्या गलत है, व्हाट इज गुड एंड व्हाट इज इवल, एंड क्या सही है क्या गलत, उसको निर्णय लेने की क्षमता हम तक आ जाती है। और ये सबसे महत्वपूर्ण है हमारी जिंदगी में, है ना। बहुत लोग गलत डिसीजन के कारण बहुत सारी अपॉर्चुनिटी खो देते हैं, दुख में चले जाते हैं। तो ये चीजें कैसे जाने, तो इसके लिए अष्टांग योग का अभी आपको आखिरी में बताएंगे। फिर आनंदमय कोश है ना, ये हमारे जो आत्मा है उसके ऊपर का ये कोश है। इसका स्वभाव है कि हरदम सत्यचित आनंदित रहना, ब्लिसफुल हैप्पीनेस लेना। और इसका जो बोलते अपना जो एलिमेंट है वो है स्पेस, ठीक है, आकाश तत्व। और इसमें कैसे इससे डेवलप कैसे किया जा सकता है, तो यहाँ डिवोशनल प्रैक्टिसेस ज्यादा होती है, जैसे सेल्फलेस सर्विसेज। जैसे आप लोग इतनी बड़ी सेवा कर रहे हैं लोगों को जागरूक करने के लिए। डॉक्टर हमारे जो गाड़ेगोने सर है जो कि प्रेसिडेंट मोआक है, तो वो भी बहुत पूरी आयुष्य उन्होंने इस काम के लिए लगा दिया है। तो ऐसे ही जब हम सेल्फलेस सर्विसेज करते हैं, डिवोशनल प्रैक्टिसेस करते हैं, ईश्वर की आराधना करते हैं, है ना, तो ये सब हमें फिर वी एक्सपीरियंस द हैप्पीनेस, डिलाइट एंड ब्लिसफुल। और यही मुझे लगता है सब लोग यही चाहते हैं, पर सिर्फ चाह से होता नहीं है ना, हमको उसमें करना पड़ेगा। तो क्या करना पड़ेगा उसके लिए अब चलते हैं। अब ये जो मैं आपको बताने वाला हूँ ये बहुत इंपॉर्टेंट है। आजकल हम देखते हैं कि हर एक डिजीज, आजकल कोई भी आप डिजीज ले लीजिए, वो हमारे मन पे जरूर असर डालती है। एक तो मन से उसका उद्गम होता है या शरीर से उद्गम होगा, बट अल्टीमेटली वो हमारे मन पे दूषित प्रभाव डालेंगे। जैसे अभी कोविड का है ना, वो साइकोसोमेटिक नहीं है पर सोमैटिक साइको हो गई है ना। पहले बीमारी होती है, हम इतने डरे हुए हैं, इतने भयभीत है, जो टेंशन के कारण तो पूरा स्ट्रेस हो जाता है और बहुत सारी फिर हमें स्ट्रेस रिलेटेड बीमारियां भी हो जाती है। तो आफ्टर इफेक्ट बताया कोविड का यही होता है। तो उसके कारण है कि इसलिए रोज जो योग करेंगे उनको ये रोड से गुजरना ही नहीं पड़ेगा, है ना। तो यहाँ देखते हैं कि अगर साइकोसोमेटिक डिजीज होती है तो उसके कौन से स्टेज है। तो सबसे पहले हमको पता है कि हमारा मन जब दूषित हो जाता है ना, मन में जब बुरे विचार आते हैं, जब स्वार्थ बढ़ जाता है, जब द्वेष बढ़ जाता है, तो हमारा जो मन है वो दूषित हो जाता है। जब दूषित होता है तो वहां पे फिर स्ट्रेस हार्मोन्स निर्माण हो जाते हैं, हमारी एंडोक्राइन सिस्टम डिस्टर्ब हो जाती है, हमारी मेडिकल सिस्टम्स डिस्टर्ब हो जाती है। तो ये मैं एक आपको बाजू में दिया सीड। तो यहाँ पे जो जो रोग होने वाला, जो डिजीज होने वाला है, आप जो शास्त्रों में लिखा है वो ऐसा लिखा है कि वहां पे उसका बीज रोपण हो रहा है। अगर उस समय हम लोग ध्यान देते हैं, है ना, बहुत सारे है। मैं तो अभी योग से रिलेटेड हूँ, तो मैं तो बोलूंगा आपको कि आप अष्टांग योग की प्रैक्टिस करो, है ना, क्योंकि आजकल तो पूरे दुनिया ने इसको रियलाइज कर दिया है, खास करके कोविड ने हमें रियलाइज करवा दिया है कि योग से आप शारीरिक, मानसिक, आध्यात्मिक सभी तनावों से दूर हो सकते हैं, सभी दुखों से दूर हो सकते हैं, हम अपनी प्रतिरोधक शक्ति बढ़ा सकते हैं, है ना। तो ये हो गया साइकिक स्टेज, जो हमारा सबसे इनिशियल सीडिंग होता है। उसके बाद में अगर उस समय हम लोग ने अपने शरीर की तरफ ध्यान नहीं दिया, तो वो फिर सीड का रूपांतर होता है स्मॉल प्लांट में, एक पौधे में, जिसे हम साइकोसोमैटिक स्टेज बोलते हैं। यानी वो धीरे धीरे शरीर की तरफ वो डिजीज बढ़ने लगती है। तो एक प्लांट का, एक पौधे का रूप धारण कर लेती है। फिर थर्ड स्टेज है सोमैटिक स्टेज, यानी वो जो है वो धीरे धीरे हमारे शरीर में बीमारी आने लगती है। ठीक है। तो हम लोग ने बहुत बार देखा होगा ना, डॉक्टर साहब के पास जाते हैं, बोलते हैं हमें ये तकलीफ है, पर जब पैथोलॉजिकल टेस्ट करवाते हैं या मशीन द्वारा टेस्ट करवाते हैं, तो उसमें ऐसा कहीं नोटिफाइड करके कहीं ऐसा लगता नहीं है कि इनको ये हो गया है ना। तो ये हम बोलेंगे कि ये इनिशियल स्टेज में है, जो कि हम लोग अभी पकड़ ही नहीं सक रहे हैं। पर आने वाले दिनों पे मैं हरदम मैं बहुत उत्सुक होता हूँ मॉडर्न मेडिकल साइंस के जो रिसर्च हो रही है, हरदम सुनते रहता हूँ। अभी तो मैं सुन रहा हूँ कि कैंसर का भी अभी इनिशियल स्टेज, फर्स्ट स्टेज का भी आप ब्लड टेस्ट करवा के वो पता कर सकते हैं। अभी वो सब ट्रायल स्टेज हो गए। तो अभी हमारा जो मॉडर्न मेडिकल साइंस है वो बहुत फास्ट डेवलप हो रहा है, और एक समय आएगा जब ये फुल प्रूफ हो जाएगा, यानी सभी चीजों में हमें उससे फायदे मिलने लगेंगे। अभी तो हम लोग एक्सपेरिमेंट रिसर्च करते हुए आगे बढ़ रहे हैं। तो ये सोमैटिक स्टेज जब पहुंच जाती है, यानी शरीर पहुंच जाता है, तो इट बिकम्स ए ट्री, एक वृक्ष बन जाता है। और फिर भी अगर हम ध्यान नहीं दिए अपने तबियत पे, सब योगी प्रैक्टिस करते हैं या फिजिकल एक्सरसाइज जो भी हम लोग कर सकते हैं, तो इट गोस इनटू आवर ऑर्गन। तो जब हमारे पर्टिकुलर ऑर्गन, है ना, जब फेल हो जाता है या काम करने की शक्ति उसकी कम हो जाती है, तो वो डिजीज रूपी हमें फल, जो कि दूषित फल, हमें वो प्राप्त होते हैं। जस्ट एक प्रॉपर अंडरस्टैंडिंग फॉर द जनरल पब्लिक, मैंने एक एग्जाम्पल के तौर पे आपको समझाने की कोशिश किया है। अब हम देखते हैं कि साइकिक स्टेज, पहली स्टेज में क्या क्या होता है। तो यहाँ पे कुछ एग्जाम्पल के द्वारा मैं आपको समझाना चाहूंगा, जो कि हमारे ग्रंथों में भी इसका वर्णन है, कि जब हम पे साइकोलॉजिकल स्ट्रेस बहुत ज्यादा हो जाता है, तो हमें कुछ साइकोलॉजिकल सिम्टम्स आने लगते हैं। जैसे अगर किसी को अभी तक अच्छी नींद आ रही थी, या वो चिढ़ते नहीं थे छोटी छोटी बातों में, पर अगर हमारे स्वभाव में अगर कहीं ऐसा डिस्टर्ब स्लीप या इरिटेबिलिटी हमारे स्वभाव में दिख रही है, तो इट्स ए इंडिकेशन कि हम थोड़े तनावग्रस्त हो रहे हैं, और हमें अब अलर्ट हो जाना चाहिए और ऐसे उपाय करना चाहिए जिसके कारण हम ये साइकिक फेस को, यानी सीड को ही यहाँ पे उसको खत पानी कुछ देना नहीं है, उसको मार देने का है। नाउ इट इज रिलेटेड, इफ यू कंसिडर विद द योगिक बॉडीज, हमारे कोर्स, तो ये आपने देखा होगा कि वो जो बॉडीज का मैंने आपको चित्र बताया था, इट इज कनेक्टेड विद द विज्ञानमय कोश एंड मनोमय कोश। तनाव मैंने आपको बता दिया है कि तनाव क्यों आता है, कि हमारी विज्ञान में, यानी हमको ज्ञान ही नहीं है, हमारी ज्ञान की कहीं ना कहीं क्षमता की कमी है। ठीक है। तो कोई भी चीज अगर आपको जो तनाव दे रहा है, उसको आपको स्टडी करना पड़ेगा, वो क्या चीज है, उसको मैं, आजकल इंटरनेट तो अलाउद्दीन का चिराग बन गया, आप जस्ट उसको थोड़ा रगड़ो तो वो अलाउद्दीन तैयार हो जाता, मतलब बोल मेरे आका, और बस आप गूगल में टाइप करो या सिर्फ बोलो तो आपको इतने सारे मिल जाते हैं। तो अभी तो हम लोग इतने अच्छे युग में हैं कि आपको सब टिप्स में मिल जाते हैं, कहीं आपको किताब रेफर करने की जरूरत नहीं, कहीं रुकने की जरूरत नहीं, एकदम टिप पे, इधर चुटकी बजाए इधर आपको जो, तो ये जब है तो इसका हमने फायदा लेना चाहिए। तो विज्ञानमय कोश हमको बढ़ाते ही रहना है, रोज हमको ज्ञान के बारे में जो भी हमारे प्रॉब्लम है, देखिए सॉल्यूशंस तो आपको इतने सारे मिलेंगे, पर हमें वो समय देखते हुए, हमारी रिसोर्सेज देखते हुए, हमारी क्षमता देखते हुए, हमारे समय देखते हुए ये सब हमें ठहराना है कि कौन सा उपाय हमारे लिए ठीक होगा, है ना। तो उसके लिए ये चीजें हमें बहुत, विज्ञान में कोश बहुत जरूरी। जब विज्ञान में कोश हमारा अज्ञानता से भरा होता है तो उसका फिर असर अज्ञानता और मन के ऊपर होता है, तो मन हमारा दूषित हो जाता है, मन हमारा तनावग्रस्त हो जाता है, जिसके कारण हम स्ट्रेस में जाते हैं। अब देखिए स्ट्रेस, आई एम नॉट टॉकिंग अबाउट द पॉजिटिव स्ट्रेस, पॉजिटिव स्ट्रेस इज वेरी वेरी गुड फॉर अचीविंग एनीथिंग। जैसे आज हम प्रेजेंटेशन दे रहे हैं, एक हल्का सा पॉजिटिव स्ट्रेस था कि मैं अच्छे से अच्छा यहाँ पे मेरा आउटपुट दूं, अच्छे से प्रेजेंटेशन करूं। आप लोग ने जो ऑर्गेनाइज किया, एक हल्का सा पॉजिटिव स्ट्रेस होता है कि एक अच्छे से ऑर्गेनाइज हुआ, चाहे बीच में कोई डिस्टर्बेंस ना आए, तो दिस इज वेरी गुड एंड इट इज रिक्वायर्ड, है ना। पर कुछ प्रॉब्लम्स ऐसे आते हैं जो कि हम उसको सॉल्व नहीं करते हैं, देन इट बिकम्स ए नेगेटिव एंड हमारे सब नुकसान हो जाता है। तो यहाँ पे ये कहा गया है कि अगर वो सीडिंग स्टेज पे है ना, साइकिक फेज पे, तो योगा एज ए थेरेपी इज वेरी इफेक्टिव इन दिस फेज। अगर आप रोज अष्टांग योग का पालन करते हैं, सिर्फ आसन की नहीं बात कर रहा हूं मैं, यम नियम की भी बात कर रहा हूँ, यम नियम आसन प्राणायाम, और बस ये चार चीजें हमारे हाथ में है। ध्यान तो लगाया नहीं जा सकता है, ये तो लग जाता है, ठीक है। तो ये बहिरंग जो है वो हमारे हाथ में है। अब नेक्स्ट चलते हैं हम, ठीक है, साइकिक सोमैटिक फेज। अब यहाँ पे हम देखेंगे कि हमारे जो, हेलो, कुछ डिस्टरबेंस हो रहा है, तो सेकेंड स्टेज में अगर हमने ध्यान नहीं दिया तो फिर साइकी से सोमैटिक फेज में आ जाता है। इट ऑकर्स इफ स्ट्रेस कंटिन्यूज फॉर द लॉन्ग टाइम। और जैसे फॉर एग्जांपल वी कैन अंडरस्टैंड, अगर हमने अपने नींद के ऊपर ध्यान नहीं दिया या इरिटेशन हो रहा है उस पर ध्यान नहीं दिया, देन इट टर्न्स इनटू द ओकेशनल हाइपरटेंशन, ट्रेमर्स या वीकनेस, ऐसा अनुभव होता है। तो अगर हमें ऐसा अनुभव हो रहा है तो हमको एक अलार्म है कि कहीं ना कहीं मुझे कहीं ना कहीं डिस्टर्ब हो रहा है, कहीं आवाज आ रही है साउंड की, प्लीज म्यूट कर दीजिए, है ना। तो ये क्या हो रहा है, इसका इसका मतलब हम कहीं ना कहीं एक जो बीमारी है वो एक पौधा का रूप धारण कर लिया है, और यहाँ पे जो बीमारी है वो मेंटल बॉडी से एनर्जी बॉडी में जा रही है, हमारे मन से हमारी जो एनर्जी बॉडी है वहां पे उसका ट्रांसफॉर्मेशन हो रहा है। मनोमय शरीर और प्राणमय शरीर दोनों इससे रिलेटेड है। यहाँ पे भी देखिए हमारे ईश्वर या हमारा सिस्टम बॉडी का या ब्रह्मांड का सिस्टम इतना अच्छा है कि यहाँ पे भी हमें चांस मिल रहा है कि ओके चलो पौधा बन गया है ना, फिर भी आप योग रोज कीजिए तो आपका ये पौधा भी नष्ट हो जाएगा। अगर फिर भी हमने ध्यान नहीं दिया अपने योग पे या एक्सरसाइज पे या बहुत सारे आजकल उसके उपाय हैं, तो इट टर्न्स इनटू द सोमैटिक फेस, और ये थोड़ा सा इधर का वृक्ष बन जाता है, अर्थात ट्री बन जाती है। और इसमें हमारे जो टारगेटेड ऑर्गन्स है, जो इन्वॉल्व ऑर्गन्स है, जहाँ पे हमारे स्ट्रेस हार्मोन्स जाके हमारे इंडोक्राइन सिस्टम को डिस्टर्ब कर रहे हैं, वो ऑर्गन के सिस्टम को डिस्टर्ब कर रहे हैं, वो मेडिकल सिस्टम को डिस्टर्ब कर रहे हैं, तो वहां पे फिर थोड़े से डिजीज का और उसके आगे का स्टेप आने लगता है। और यहाँ पे हम बोल सकते हैं कि जो योगिक बॉडी है कौन से बॉडी में है, तो यहाँ पे एनर्जी बॉडी जो प्राणमय कोश है वहां से हमारे फिजिकल बॉडी में जा रहा है, तो ये दोनों बॉडी उसमें इन्वॉल्व है। अब देखिए अब यहाँ पर क्या होता है, हमारी योग की भी देखिए हर चीज की एक क्षमता होती है। आप ये नहीं बोल सकते हैं कि एक इंसान मर रहा है आप उसको योग करा दो वो अच्छा हो जाए, बिल्कुल नहीं अच्छा होगा। चीज की एक क्षमता है, वहां तो आपको लाइफ सेविंग मेडिसिन का इस्तेमाल करना ही पड़ेगा। मॉडर्न मेडिकल साइंस में इतनी अच्छी उन्होंने उपलब्धियां प्राप्त करा है, उसका उपयोग करना ही पड़ेगा। तो योगा इन दिस फेज may need to be used with the other methods of treatment. तो यहाँ हम जो भी अवेलेबल है और जिस पे आपको विश्वास है वो आपको उसमें उपयोग करना ही पड़ेगा। योग अकेला आपको उस समय जब वृक्ष बन जाता है, ट्री बढ़ जाती है, जब वो बीमारी की शक्ति इतनी बढ़ जाती है कि आप अकेले योग के द्वारा हैंडल नहीं कर सकते हैं, तो आपको बाकी जैसे एलोपैथी हो गया, आयुर्वेद हो गया, नेचुरोपैथी हो गया, यूनानी हो गया, होम्योपैथी हो गया, ऐसे कहीं ना कहीं आपको इसका सहारा लेना ही पड़ेगा। अब देखते हैं फोर्थ स्टेज, यानी ऑर्गन में अभी बीमारी पहुंच गई है और वहां पे पैथोलॉजिकल चेंजेस आ गए हैं, है ना, और आपको वो बीमारी, अब आप अगर टेस्ट कराते हैं तो वहां पे सिम्टम्स यानी पैथोलॉजिकल लेबोरेटरी में टेस्ट में आपको ये सब चीजें पता चल रही है। तो ये एकदम लास्ट स्टेज में पहुंच गए हैं। जैसे फॉर एग्जांपल मैंने दिया, द पर्सन में एक्सपीरियंस द कॉम्प्लिकेशन ऑफ अल्सरेटेड स्टमक या क्रॉनिक हाइपरटेंशन, या हम बोलेंगे कि बीपी, आजकल हाई बीपी अगर हो जाता है, या हम बोलेंगे कि डायबिटीज हो जाते हैं, ये ऐसी जो चीजें हैं ये फिर हमको दिखने लगती है। तो यहाँ पे तो आपको फिर हमारा जो योग है उसको रिस्ट्रिक्शन आ जाता है। इट विल एक्ट एज ए पैलिएटिव इफेक्ट, है ना, आप करेंगे, आपको तात्पुरता अच्छा लगेगा, है ना, पर क्योर नहीं हो सकते हैं। तो क्योरिंग के लिए आपको मॉडर्न मेडिकल साइंस या औषध वगैरह का उपयोग करना ही पड़ेगा। ठीक है, अब देखते हैं कि कैसे हम इसे दुरुस्त कर सकते हैं। अभी तक तो हमने पता किया कि कौन से इससे क्या क्या होता है। अब हमें क्या करना है कि अगर मुझे अन्नमय कोश को अच्छा बनाना है तो मैं क्या करूं, मुझे प्राणमय कोश को अच्छा करना तो मैं क्या करूं, मुझे मनोमय कोश को अच्छा करना तो क्या करूं, मुझे विज्ञानमय कोश को अच्छा करना है या आनंदमय कोश को अच्छा करना तो क्या करूं। तो अभी उसके लिस्ट दिया गया है जो हमारे ग्रंथों में इसमें बहुत अच्छा वर्णन किया गया है। अब यहाँ पे मैं आपको अष्टांग योग का इसलिए दिखा रहा हूँ कि लोग क्या करते हैं, दे आर डायरेक्टली जंपिंग आउट फॉर डूइंग द आसनास, योग आसनास, विदाउट फॉलोइंग द यम नियम। आज हमारी लाइफस्टाइल इतनी डिस्टर्ब हो गई है, हम लोग ऑलरेडी स्ट्रेस में हैं, तो आपको आसन जो हमारे ग्रंथों में लिखे हैं वो बेनिफिट नहीं मिलेंगे, फिजिकल बेनिफिट मिलेंगे, पर आसन का सिर्फ फिजिकल बेनिफिट से संबंध नहीं है। हमारा मन को पवित्र करता, मन को शांत करता है ना, एकाग्रता बढ़ाता है, वृत्तियां जो है उसको शांत करता है। तो बहुत सारे उसके काम है जो आपको बेनिफिट नहीं मिलेंगे। फिर प्राणायाम को तो छोड़ ही दो, आप भले श्वास लेंगे तो फिजिकली आपको बेनिफिट मिलेगा, पर उसका श्वास लेने का वो फिजिकल बेनिफिट वाला नहीं है। हमको मन को शांत करना है, हमारी वृत्तियों को शांत करना है, हमारे मन का जो वृत्तियां है उसका निरोध करना है। तो ये सब होगा। और फिर प्रत्याहार धारणा ध्यान समाधि तो अलग बात है, वो तो बाद में, दीज आर द ऑल रिजल्ट्स व्हाट वी डू इन द स्टेप्स, यम नियम आसन प्राणायाम। तो मनुष्य के हाथ में ये चार ही चीजें हैं, और प्रत्याहार धारणा ध्यान समाधि, दीज आर द रिजल्ट्स, है ना। तो ये हमने यम नियम जैसे अहिंसा, सत्य, अस्तेय, ब्रह्मचर्य, अपरिग्रह, फिर नियम है शौच, संतोष, तप, स्वाध्याय, ईश्वर प्रणिधान। ये जो 10 नियम है, बेसिक नियम है जो कि सभी धर्मों में दिए गए। अगर हम ये सभी 10 नियम अगर पालन करते हैं तो डेफिनेटली आपको आसन का बहुत जल्दी बेनिफिट मिलेगा, जो ग्रंथों में लिखा, जो हम चाहते हैं, है ना, वो मिलेगा। प्राणायाम भी जब आप करेंगे तो शास्त्रों में जो लिखा उसका फायदा मिलेगा। आज लोग कितने सारे जगह जाते हैं, लोग हमें कंप्लेंट करते हैं, हम 4 साल से आसन प्राणायाम कर रहे हैं, हमको फायदा नहीं मिल रहा है। जब मैं उनको पूछता हूँ यम नियम के बारे में तो हम फॉलो नहीं कर रहे हैं। आपकी लाइफस्टाइल इतनी डिस्टर्ब है ना, कुछ भी पालन नहीं कर रहे हैं, आप बोलते हैं कि मैं आसन प्राणायाम करूंगे तो मुझे बेनिफिट नहीं मिलेगा। ठीक है, ऐसे भी लोग मैंने देखा है कि यम नियम का पालन करते हैं, आसन प्राणायाम नहीं करते हैं, बट दे आर फिट, दे आर वेरी गुड, उनके चेहरे पे शाइनिंग देखिए, दे आर अवे फ्रॉम ऑल द डिजीजेस। तो ये हमारा फाउंडेशन है। ठीक है, एक पिरामिड का जैसे बेस होता है ना यम नियम, तो मैं आज इसलिए इंसिस्ट कर रहा हूँ, सबको बता रहा हूँ कि यम नियम इज वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट एंड इट इज अवेलेबल ऑन इंटरनेट एंड अदर बुक्स वगैरह। अब चलते हैं हम इसको, ये अभी डिटेल में हम जा रहे हैं तो इसके बारे में वर्णन नहीं करेंगे, अभी समय भी हमारा होते आया है। तो अन्नमय कोश, है ना, जो बता रहे थे हम, इसके बारे में अभी अच्छे से आप समझ गए हैं, है ना, सोमैटिक एंड ऑर्गेनिक स्टेज जो अन्नमय कोश है। अब इसको हम कैसे ठीक करें, तो आप लोग देख रहे हो कि इसमें बहुत सारे उसके उपाय बताए गए हैं, है ना। पहला तो हमको स्ट्रेस फ्री नेचुरल लाइफस्टाइल जीना है, यानी हमें जल्दी उठना है, जल्दी सोना है। जो हमारे पशु पक्षी है जो जो फॉलो करते हैं, है है ना। हम भी बस उसी समय सिर्फ हमें भगवान ने बुद्धि दे दिया है, विवेक दे दिया, मन दे दिया, इसलिए हम उनसे अलग है, पर हम रहते तो प्रकृति में ना, हमको फॉलो करना है। तो जो भी लोग अगर नेचुरल लाइफस्टाइल फॉलो करते हैं, उनकी जिंदगी में बहुत कम चांसेस आएंगे डिजीज होने के। फिर साउंड स्लीप होना बहुत जरूरी है ना। आपको, हम सबको पता है कि रिजुनेट होती है पूरी बॉडी। देन योगिक डाइट, सात्विक अन्न हमने लेना। आजकल आप जहां पे भी जाइए, सात्विक अन्न कोई ले ही नहीं रहा है, सब रासिक और तामसिक ले रहे हैं। तो आप कैसे अपेक्षा कर सकते हैं कि आपको कोई डिजीज नहीं होगी? क्योंकि जैसा खाए अन्न वैसा बने मन, जैसा रहे मन वैसा बने हमारा शरीर, जैसा रहे हमारा शरीर वैसा बने हमारा परिवार, जैसा रहे हमारा परिवार वैसा बने हमारा समाज, जैसा रहे हमारा समाज वैसा बने हमारा देश। अगर देश की उन्नति करना है, समाज की उन्नति करना है, तो शुरुआत तो हम खुद से करना पड़ेगा। तो सात्विक भोजन हम करना ही चाहिए। ठीक है, आप मेडिसिन ले रहे हैं और कुछ फॉलो नहीं कर रहे हैं बाकी चीजें, तो आपको बेनिफिट नहीं मिलेगा, है ना। और ये शरीर जो डिजाइन किया गया है वो सात्विक अन्न के लिए डिजाइन किया, हम लोग उसमें रासिक तामसिक ठूसते बैठते हैं, है ना। तो क्या होगा, कैसे होगा? अब ये रासिक तामसिक में घुसेंगे नहीं, ये इंटरनेट पे अवेलेबल है, हर किताब में कहीं पे भी आपको मिल जाएगा। फिर शुद्धि क्रिया, सिर्फ आसन प्राणायाम, जैसे हम जनार्दन स्वामी योग बस से मंडल से जुड़े हैं, वहां भी शुद्धि क्रिया इतने अच्छे से कराया जाता है हर शनिवार रविवार। अगर आप सीखना चाहते हैं, जो नागपुर में, बाकी सब जगह भी अलग अलग नेचुरोपैथी सेंटर्स हैं, वहां जाके, जैसे कपालभाति तो हम प्राणायाम में इंक्लूड कर दिए हैं, त्राटक भी कर दिया है, पर बाकी के जो है शुद्धि क्रिया, ये हमने, जैसे धोती हो गया, नती हो गया, बस्ती हो गया, नवली हो गया, ये भी हमने करना चाहिए। तो उससे हमारे शरीर की शुद्धि होती है, और जितना आप शुद्ध करेंगे अपने शरीर मन को, उतने आपको ज्यादा बेनिफिट। लूजनिंग एक्सरसाइज, माइक्रो एक्सरसाइजेज, योगिक एक्सरसाइजेज, अर्थात यू आर डूइंग द एक्सरसाइज अलोंग विथ योर ब्रेथ। जब ब्रेथ के साथ में हम कोई भी एक्सरसाइज करते हैं, इट बिकम्स ए योगिक एक्सरसाइज, और उसका संबंध हमारे मन से होता है, मन हमारा शांत होता है, बिकॉज इट्स ए डायरेक्टली उसमें रिलेशन है बिटवीन आवर मन एंड आवर ब्रेथ। ठीक है, यम नियम मैंने आपको बताया, इसको फॉलो करना है, आसन करना है, प्राणायाम करना, फॉलो करना है। आप एक्सरसाइज करना चाहते हैं, कीजिए। वॉकिंग करना चाहता है, ब्रिस्क वॉक, फास्ट वॉक, एज पर साइंटिफिक वे कीजिए। नॉट जैसे शाम को बाजार में घूम रहे हैं, मैंने देखा बहुत सारे लोग वॉक कर रहे हैं, इट्स ऑफ नो यूज, यू आर वेस्टिंग योर टाइम एंड दैट्स ऑल, है ना। आपको ब्रिस्क वॉक जो साइंटिफिक है, जो हम टीएनटी में, टीएमटी हम लोग करते हैं ना टेस्ट, वैसा हमारा होना चाहिए वॉकिंग, तब आपको बेनिफिट मिलेगा। रनिंग आप करना चाहते कीजिए ना, करिए, फैमिली गेट टुगेदर कीजिए, स्ट्रेस फ्री रहिए। आजकल हम फैमिली से अलिप्त होते जा रहे हैं ना, न्यूक्लियर फैमिली है, मिल नहीं रहे, तो तनाव हम शेयर ही नहीं कर सकते। पहले जॉइंट फैमिली थी तो बहुत शेयर किया जाता था, है ना, तो तनाव नहीं रहता था, सब शेयर करते थे रिस्पॉन्सिबिलिटीज। आज सभी एक ही व्यक्ति को, दो ही व्यक्ति को सब कुछ करना है, तो कैसे होगा, है ना। हॉबीज डेवलप कीजिए, सबसे अच्छा तनाव का उपाय है। स्पोर्ट्स है, गेम्स है, लाफ्टर योगा है, क्लैपिंग योगा, ये सब करेंगे तो हमारा अन्नमय कोश डेफिनेटली अच्छा होगा। फिर चलते हैं अन्नमय कोश को कैसे, हमारी जो एनर्जी बॉडी है उसको कैसे हम विकसित करें, उसको कैसे अच्छा रखें। तो ये हमारी सटल बॉडी है, हमारी एनर्जी बॉडी जो दिखती नहीं है। तो हमारे अगेन यहाँ पे आपको स्ट्रेस फ्री नेचुरल लाइफस्टाइल अडॉप्ट करना है, साउंड स्लीप लेना है, योगिक डाइट लेना है, सात्विक डाइट, यम नियम आसन प्राणायाम जो हमारे हाथ में वो करना है, शुद्धि क्रिया करना है, लाफ्टर योगा, बोलते हैं ना सब योगा एक तरफ, लाफ्टर योगा एक तरफ, है ना, क्लैपिंग योगा, एक्यूप्रेशर बढ़िया हो जाता है और मन प्रसन्न हो जाता है, फील गुड हार्मोन्स पैदा हो जाते हैं, लाफ्टर योगा से भी फील गुड हार्मोन्स हो जाते हैं। तो ये जो हमको ऑलरेडी हमारे पास में है, इसका हम इस्तेमाल करते नहीं है। ठीक है, फिर मनोमय कोश, ये सबसे महत्वपूर्ण है, इट्स अ कल्प्रिट, क्योंकि ये अगर दूषित हो गया तो हम साइकोसोमेटिक बीमारी से ग्रस्त हो जाते हैं। तो इसमें आपको क्या करना है, स्ट्रेस फ्री लाइफस्टाइल कैसे अडॉप्ट करेंगे, तो भाई जल्दी सुबह उठो, सात्विक भोजन लो, शाम को जल्दी सो जाओ, अच्छी चीजें पढ़ो, अच्छी चीजें देखो, है ना। जैसे, क्योंकि जो आप इंद्रियों से देखेंगे, वही जो हमारे सेंसेस से आएगा, वही हमारे मन पे असर होगा। तो अच्छे वातावरण रहो, साउंड स्लीप लो, योगिक डाइट रहो, प्राणायाम, ध्यान। अब यहाँ देखिए ध्यान आ गया है ना, बिकॉज वी आर रीचिंग टूवर्ड्स आवर मन, हमारे विज्ञान में कोश, मनोमय कोश वगैरह। तो यहाँ पे प्रेयर का बहुत इंपॉर्टेंट है। ऐसा नहीं बोल रहा हूँ कि प्रेयर सिर्फ यहीं पे करना चाहिए, प्रेयर तो हमारी लाइफस्टाइल बनना चाहिए, भजन करना चाहिए, चैंटिंग करना चाहिए, है ना, सेल्फलेस सर्विस करना चाहिए, ये बहुत महत्वपूर्ण है। आप देखिए सबसे ज्यादा खुशी सेल्फलेस सर्विस में ही मिलेगी, इसको हम ज्यादा एक्सप्लेनेशन देने की जरूरत नहीं है। स्पिरिचुअल एक्टिविटीज करना है, सोशल एक्टिविटीज करना, लोगों की सेवा करना बिना अपेक्षा के, निस्वार्थ सेवा करना, ऐसा नहीं मेरा नाम होना चाहिए, मुझे पैसा मिलना चाहिए, है ना। लाफ्टर योगा, क्लैपिंग योगा कीजिए। फिर विज्ञान में कोश है, दिस इज अल्टीमेट। ये अगर जिसका दुरुस्त हो जाए, वो कभी भी उसको न तनाव आएगा न कोई बीमारी होगी। तो इसको क्या करना है, धारणा ध्यान समाधि, जो मैं बोल रहा हूँ, जो फल है, अर्थात यहाँ पे मैंने वो लिखा नहीं है यम नियम आसन प्राणायाम, यम नियम आसन प्राणायाम, उसके बेनिफिट आपको फल यहाँ मिल रहे हैं, धारणा ध्यान समाधि इन विज्ञान में कोश, है ना। सीकिंग नॉलेज फ्रॉम द साइंटिफिक बुक्स, मॉरल बुक्स, स्पिरिचुअल लिटरेचर लाइक वेद, उपनिषद, रामायण, गीता, पुराण, योग वशिष्ठ, है ना, पतंजलि योग सूत्र, हठ योग, ये पढ़िए तो आपको बहुत बहुत चीजें पता चलेगी। ओके, देन लास्ट इज आवर आनंदमय कोश। अब ये चीज ऐसी है कि यहाँ पे हम जितना अभ्यास करेंगे उतना हमें धारणा ध्यान समाधि का अनुभव होगा। हम जितना भगवान से देखिए, जो भी हम कर रहे हैं ना, वो भगवान करा रहा है। जब ये आपको फीलिंग आ जाएगी ना, तो कभी अहम नहीं रहेगा और कभी आप दुखी नहीं होगे। हमारे अहम के कारण ही हम दुखी रहते हैं। जब सब चीज, जैसे मैं अभी आपको मेरे विचार दे रहा हूँ, तो ये मेरा उसमें कोई योग नहीं है, मैं तो एक निमित्त हूँ, ईश्वर मुझसे करवाना चाहता हूँ। जब हम ईश्वर प्रणिधान करके सब कुछ समर्पित कर देते हैं, तो फिर यू बिकम वेरी हैप्पी, फिर अहम जागरूक नहीं होता है। तो प्रेयर, भजन, मंत्र, चैंटिंग वगैरह हम लोग कर सकते हैं। मुझे लगता है समय बहुत हो गया है, इसलिए बाकी चीज नहीं करेंगे। यहीं पे मैं समाप्त करता हूँ। कोशिश किया है कि संक्षिप्त में आपको अच्छे तरह से मैं समझा सकूं। मुझे आप लोगों ने इतना गोल्डन अपॉर्चुनिटी दिया है, और मेरी जिंदगी का ये फर्स्ट अपॉर्चुनिटी, जो मैं डॉक्टर के साथ में, आप लोग इतने इंटेलेक्ट होते हैं, बहुत हाई लेवल होते हैं, और उनके साथ में मुझे आज यहाँ पे शेयर करने का मौका दिया। मैं सचमुच मन से हृदय, और आगे भविष्य में अब जब भी आप मुझे कहेंगे तो मैं सेवा भाव से आपकी सेवा सभी लोग की करते रहूंगा। बहुत बहुत धन्यवाद।
थैंक यू स्वामी जी, थैंक यू वेरी मच। आप आज यहाँ पे पधारे, एंड थैंक यू फॉर योर गाइडेंस। डॉक्टर गाडेगोने सर हैज टोल्ड that you are an international speaker, and we are thankful to you on behalf of MOA. Gadegone sir, you want to speak something?
Gupta ji, thank you very much, thank you very much. And देखो एक आध बार और करेंगे, क्योंकि this is the limitation of time is there, और आपका मुझे मालूम है आपको कितना नॉलेज है, सब है, और आपने बहुत ही सिंपल लैंग्वेज में समझा दिया है, मुझे बहुत खुशी है। और इसके बाद आप बैठे रहिए, क्योंकि हमारे करने साहब भी बड़े इंटरेस्टेड आदमी है इस योगा और प्राणायाम में। थॉट्स अलग अलग हो सकते हैं, लेकिन हर एक का जो जरिया है वो एक ही है, ईश्वर प्राप्ति। तो इसलिए आई रिक्वेस्ट डॉक्टर करने सर टू शेयर हिज स्किल। And anybody wants to introduce Pramod?
Yes, sir. Dr. Sunil, I request Dr. Sunil Nahata sir, our respected executive member, to introduce our next speaker, MOA Secretary, Dr. N.J. Karne sir.
Good evening, everybody. Our beloved President, Dr. Gadegone, Dynamic Secretary, Dr. Karne, enthusiastic Vice President Pramod, and all executive members. This is my pleasure to introduce our second speaker, who happens to be Secretary of MOA, Dr. Narayan Karne. This is our MOA week, where theme of week is love, fitness, and prevent orthopedic diseases. And today's subject for second speaker is Yoga as a science for body and mind fitness. There are so many things to credit of Dr. Narayan Karne, few of which I am narrating here. He is President of Pune Orthopedic Society, Secretary and Treasurer of Maharashtra Orthopaedic Association, Joint Secretary, West Zone of Indian Orthopaedic Association, Chairman, Legal Committee of Indian Orthopaedic Association, Executive Committee member of IMA Pune, Executive Committee member, Hospital Board of India, Pune. He is MCH in Ortho and fellowship in Germany and England. throughout topper in his academic career, broke university record in first MBBS in private practice for more than 36 years. He has given more than 250 lectures all over for health awareness to doctors, association, and social groups. He had visited many countries and participated in more than 300 national and international conferences. Here I present Dr. Karne. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Nahata sir, for introducing. Now I request our MOA Secretary, Dr. Karne sir, to give his talk for Yoga as Science of Body and Mind Fitness. Thank you.
Thank you. Can you hear me?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Thank you, Honorable President Dr. Gadegone sir, Dr. Pramod Shinde, for arranging such a wonderful program, as well as I thank Dr. Sunil Nahata for my introduction. After the lucid lecture of Swamiji, now we are looking at the yoga from the science point of view or from the medical point of view and how it is useful for the mind and the body fitness. This is jet era. This is a highly competitive era now. The people are on the run. They are engaged in the cutthroat competition. It is a survival of the fittest, resulting in a rapid increase in the stress at the physical and more at the mental level.
Sir, actually he has to unshare first and then you will have to...
Now, can you see my slides?
Naina.
We are seeing your introduction.
Sunil.
Okay. Ek minute. Hold 1 minute.
Unshare kara tumhi Nahata sir. Unshare kara. आता तुम्ही शेअर करा सर. आता शेअर करा.
Okay. Share window is closed. Okay. 1 minute.
Right.
Can you see now? Yeah.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
So it is a jet era now, which is a highly competitive one. And in this, the people are on the run. They are engaged in the cutthroat competition because it is a survival of the fittest. This is the mantra of these days, resulting in the rapid increase in the stress at the physical as well as far more at the mental level. So in the midst of this abundance and the luxury and everything, what we have lost is our mental peace as well as the satisfaction. It's a stress world. Okay. This, as I said, this all stress has resulted into the stress-related disorders, sharp increase the stress-related disorders like diabetes, hypertension, heart diseases, as well as psychosomatic disorders, as Swamiji has said, and everybody is knowing it. But in addition to that, this stress, physical as well as mental stress, can result in the chronic backaches, the orthopedic issues, joint pains, muscle pains, as well as arthritis, especially the inflammatory arthritis, what we call as the rheumatoid 1 or rheumatoid-like picture. This increases just because of the stress. Surprisingly, this incidence has increased even among the doctors. It is high time that the doctors also need to pay positive attention to their own fitness. Now, people are using the stress busters. These are the modern stress busters, which can take care of the stress, which can relieve the stress. Actually, fitness is nothing but the harmony, the body and the mind. But this all harmony is lost in the modern era. We are falling prey to the Western ways of seeking pleasure, or so-called stress busters. These pubs, clubs, parties, picnics, tours, and whatnot are used as stress busters. But all these, they do give pleasure, but it is a temporary pleasure. Rather, they temporarily distract from the stress or overload at the workplace. But when you return back to the to your place, you resume this all stress comes up again. These stress busters do not increase your capacity to fight the stress. Rather, sometimes there is more exhaustion. And these page 3 class stress relieving methods, they ultimately result in more and more stress. So what is the fitness? As the WHO world says, it is not, WHO says it is not a mere absence of the disease. It is the ability of an individual to live a happy and a balanced life. It is the ability to meet the demands placed on him by his work or his way of life. And fitness is one which gives a continuous feeling of well-being. That is important. And as I said, the combined mind fitness as well as the body fitness is required. That is the main soul of this whole talk. So what is real fitness? Real fitness involves physical, intellectual, emotional, and social aspects of an individual. It's not only the physical one. And the total health the result, it depends upon the interaction of all these aspects. So-called modern health checkups, which are done to give this sense of healthiness among the patient, these are actually the disease checkups and not the health checkups. Body fitness alone, like this bodybuilder, is not sufficient. Most important is the mind fitness. Now there are factors which affect the general fitness. What are those? One, bad habits, diet, obesity, or you can say it's not the increased weight I use, it is the amount of the fat in your body. Then one is the inadequate sleep, lack of adequate, proper and regular exercises, unstable, unhappy, and the greedy mind. What just Swamiji has said, that yam, I will go into details, that is called as a moral discipline, and second is the niyam, that is called observances. These all factors, they affect the fitness of our body and the mind. So let us see one by one in detail. As I said, yam is nothing but the moral discipline. First is ahimsa. Ahimsa is non-harming or non-violence. Non-violence is not only in the physical way, it is by the thought way, by the words, by your deeds, that you should not harm or do the violence to anybody. Second thing is satya, that is truthfulness. Third thing is asteya, is non-stealing. It is not like a non-stealing of the object alone. It is stealing of a position, it is stealing of something which is possessive, which is important to others. So it is asteya. And the brahmacharya, again, brahmacharya is not remaining unmarried or without a sexual life. It is a mental brahmacharya which is important. Even though when you are in your family life, still that energy which has to use in a proper way, one thing, and at a proper place, and that is called as a brahmacharya. It is not necessary you have to be brahmachari forever your life to follow this. And last is a non-greed. You are going to get what you deserve. You don't try to get more and more than that. As you know, there are people who are having lakhs and crores of the rupees and still they are not happy. Their greed is not yet satisfied. So this is a basically yam. That is actually moral discipline. And one thing which comes into that is positive thoughts will be seen in details. The second thing is the niyam, which is sort of the bodily one. One is the cleanliness. If our body is not clean, the mind cannot remain the clean. Next is the santosh. As a simple word, it is a happy mind. It has to be there. All these things has to be there while doing the yoga or the asanas, as Swamiji has said, because otherwise it is of no use. Then next is the tapas or tapascharya, what you called as, or the dedication. When you want to do even asanas or the exercises or anything in your life, there has to be a discipline as well as dedication in that particular work. Further is the regularity or the swadhyaya. Whatever you are doing, you have to do it studiously and regularly. And the next is the Ishwara Pranidhana. It's not necessarily you have to be ascetic for that, that is or you can say astic for that. It is Almighty power which is there. And that Almighty power, you have to surrender to the Almighty power. Or even it can be a form of a person, it can be a form of a God, it can be a form of a book, or it can be a form of the work. The work itself can become a Ishwar. And so when you are doing that, that is called as Ishwar Pranidhana. And when you are doing asanas and when you are doing that meditation asanas, my concepts are a little different. You will understand gradually. But in that state of mind, if you are surrendering yourself to Almighty God or Almighty whosoever do you believe, then the effects of that particular asanas or the pranayama or the meditation is far more. So they are the basic yam and niyam. Again, we'll go back to the bad habits. Any extreme, what is bad? Whatever is there, if you do in an extreme way, it is a bad. Smoking, tobacco chewing is always bad. There is nothing like extreme. But alcohol, you can have occasionally limited, or if you at all you are taking it, take by only sip by sip in a diluted, which has to be followed by high protein meals to protect your liver. Then avoid tea, coffee. That is especially the tea with the milk is not good. But if you take the green tea without milk or preferably without the sugar, then it is better. The one is green tea, that which has come up now, and the fresh fruit juices and the buttermilk. Actually, the buttermilk should be taken in the summer and not these aerated drinks like Coca-Cola or these other Pepsi. So it is said that one should take the curds or the dahi in the morning during breakfast. They should take the buttermilk or the chach or the tak or matha in the afternoon during the lunch, and in the night one should go for the milk. That is, it is said. About the sleep, the adequate sleep is necessary for healing of the as well as restoration of the body and mind disturbances. Because there is a time when you are using your energy, but your whole body requires charging. That charging can be done by the yoga nidra also, but the sleep for a common man is necessary to charge their batteries. So sleep early and get up early. Our body has got some, it is like just any other surgery or any other medicine. It has to be done in a proper way. Next is the TV addiction, especially in the night, is always hazardous, which is there very common in these days. It drains your vital mind power, and next day morning you feel you're tired if you especially are watching TV very late night. And as I said, next day you will find it difficult to concentrate adequately. What is the role of drug in getting the fitness? You know, there are a lot of health industry which is coming up now, a wellness industry which is coming up now. It is the highest selling industry these days, because we want everything cured by drugs and the medicines. We believe that they can take care of everything. Antioxidants, vitamins, and ginseng. Now there are many shops which are coming up with all the powders and protein powders and all the such things. My own opinion is that medicines are very good to give the treatment to the patient and to control the diseases, but they are not adequate to give you complete health. Health is something different, disease is something different. So with the medicine, तुमचा रोग बरा होऊ शकेल, परंतु तुम्हाला आरोग्य मिळणार नाही. आणि आरोग्य मिळण्यासाठी तुम्हाला इतर गोष्टी करायला पाहिजे, what we are telling just now. So for mind and body fitness, you require meditation as well as positive thinking. But for meditation, then what you require, there are n number of methods. How to do the meditation? Okay, you go to the school, but we don't know exactly which school is good. There are n number of the schools which are there around you. And really speaking, there is no highly effective method that if you only do that particular method and you will get all the benefits of the meditation. So what I am searching on 30, because I'm in the yoga for almost last 30 years, and we need such a method, which will increase the mental strength to remain stable, develop ability to work physically with precision and perfection for any length of time. If you want to do the 8-hour surgery, 10-hour surgery, you should be able to do that, and with minimum resting period. That just like Modi, if you see, the Modi takes hardly 4 hours sleep and he's working continuously. You know, that is one which is the result of real yoga, what somebody is doing. It also should give this added extended effect of the yoga, that it will help you to give early recovery, as well as in certain illnesses it can give you complete recovery. So an ideal method, how it should be less time consuming. You cannot sit for 2 hours, 3 hours and whole life, especially in these days. It can be done anywhere, not necessarily in the class itself. It can be done at home. It can be done during your journey, and even in your workplace, even in the operation theater, when the tourniquet is getting deflated and before 5 minutes, I do my meditation in that time. So it can be done anywhere. Then there is no need of continuous supervision. Okay, occasionally you can take a training and then you can show it immediately, but there is no need of continuous supervision. It should be very easy to do. It can be done at any age, right from the school-going children to the almost 90+ people. And there should not be any attached string that particular method, like guru, some sect or some religion also. And it should be, most important, we are doctors, our organization doctors, it should be intellectually acceptable method of meditation. What does a conventional method do? They are there in the health club, then there are a lot of classes, calorie control, weight loss, etc. Or conventional methods are there for fitness, but they are aimed only at the physical fitness alone. Does it give continuous mind relaxation? We have seen sudden heart attacks, even in the apparently perfectly fit people. Even the orthopedic surgeons also have died suddenly. And some of there were really regular fitness freak also. Dr. Parag Bhide, who died 10-12 years ago, he was one of the person having most greatest fitness in orthopedic surgeons among Pune. Now that means there is obvious that there is something lacking in these methods which doesn't give complete fitness. So what is that? So it is a mind tranquility or the peace of the mind. And mental peace comes through the stable, cool and composed mind. Your mind has to be first stable, cool, and then you can get peace of mind. And in such a situation, such a mental peace that it is unaffected under any circumstances, any adverse condition, you are still cool and quiet. So the yoga is not something mystery. Some people rather in the beginning also were thinking it is something magic or something. It is not a mystery. It is not a miracle. It is a science. It's just about a vast science. It's not simple. If you go for 1 or 2 classes and you will learn yoga. It's just like a medicine is a science. It is like a science. Its philosophy shows one is a way of life and second is pathway of the self-realization. These are the big words, but you understand it once you start practicing it. What yoga does, yoga polishes your original personality. It cannot give the same result in everybody. The diamonds, they look like a glass in a mine. Okay, rather for millions of the years, they were it was found mostly in the South Africa. The original residents were thinking that as a glass, but when that glass was polished, you can see a diamond. But every glass cannot be made into diamond. So it brings best out of you. That's what yoga. Yoga cannot give the same result even to any person. It has just like a science, it has its own philosophy, its own principles. Of course, just like any other science, there are controversies, there are misunderstandings, and there are misconceptions also, which people hold tightly with them. So what they should do, they should study, analyze, and understand the basic concept of the yoga when they want to practice yoga. So these days, we observe explosion in the hype of yoga. It has become a fad, Ayurveda and the herbal products, etc. So much so that it has become a fad of the elite class at the phase 3 class. Ignorant people, what they do, they don't have the fad, but they have blind faith in yoga. You know, the problem is that they follow yoga teachers blindly with all his views. Whatever he says is 100% correct. Rather than they cannot go into depth of that, whether the yoga teacher is really telling correct or not. And then they don't, even yoga teacher cannot, sometimes don't tell them the basic concept. So but once the blind faith comes, the science takes backseat. You know, if someone needs acceptance as yoga teacher, he should have an aura around him, increased beard, hair, and he have to become a god man. Then only he is a yoga master. That's what is the concept. And when somebody becomes god man, he also gradually starts thinking himself as Sarvajna, that he knows everything. And people also start believing that he has got answer to all the diseases. He can solve all your family, social, national, all problems. He even can change your future and the destiny. He is the one who can tell what can happen. Of course, when in the beginning, they really give the correct information, but later on, they also start thinking that whatever they are saying is the truth. And then they become unchallengeable. And the science and the logic of yoga, it disappears completely behind this. That is the current scenario. The reality, another part is that many well-known yoga proponents and the teacher, they don't know even the A, B, C of the modern medicine. That is the situation. And on the other side, most of the doctors who preach yoga or the exercises are either general practitioner or such consultants who are far away from the current revolution in the medicine or the surgery. And that's why they cannot match with what is going on. There is a deep valley between these two. So we observe that there are great claims by great persons that yoga can cure all diseases. The Ramdev was saying the yoga can cure the Duchenne muscular dystrophy and congenital disorders, everything, whatever disease he was knowing, he was putting that there. But and another part is that they treat without any diagnosis. They do not follow the modern ways of treating the patient. And this results in such an interpretation of the philosophy of yoga. What I'm saying is the interpretation. The philosophy of yoga is really good, but it is because it is told by such persons who really want to take its business advantage. The interpretation is something different, and then it becomes unconvincing to the medical fraternity. That is the situation, and rather many doctors start mocking the yoga. So there is misunderstanding among doctors. Why it is so? One, they don't have the knowledge, or if at all they have any knowledge, it is inadequate, or because this is a topic which is not dealt in our curriculum. It is never discussed in any of the medical conferences in the very much details and on the scientific platform. Naturally, because of this, it results in a lot of suspicion, prejudices, misunderstandings, phobia, and sometimes even contempt that you are doing yoga means you are a backward one or you are not doing a correct one. There are benefits of yoga. One thing, as everybody is saying, it is a mind fitness. What is mind fitness? It's to remain cool in any adverse situation. Second is mind relaxation, that to fast regaining composure. Suppose you are angry and within a few minutes, you become again cool and normal. You are under tension during surgery, but you do that particular meditation and you can regain your composure very back. There is a mishap in your hospital, you practice yoga, you can regain your composure very fast. Next is the sharpening mind power, which increases the ability of the mind. This is very useful in the students, especially who want to work hard these days. Next is, as all of us have said, all the stress disorders, rather 80% of the disorders in the modern medicine are because of the stress, and that can be controlled. I don't say cured, it can be controlled by yoga. Then recovery from the illnesses like irritable bowel syndrome or the strokes. We have seen the wonders which is happening in the strokes because of your exercises, and even asthma also by doing the practice of the pranayama. Especially when I was doing this art of living, the Sudarshan Kreiser, and there are many asthma people claimed that they did very well after they practice Sudarshan Kriya for a long period of time. And of course, as Yogi said just now, all the psychosomatic symptoms can be treated very well with the yoga. Then prevention from illnesses, especially the viral illnesses, especially when Yogi said in the initial phase, before that becomes a somatic one. In our science, it's called the prodromal phase, that is, which is the 24 hours before actually you are getting illness. If you practice yoga in that period, rather if you are doing regular practice, if you practice a little bit more in that period, the viral illness doesn't appear. Is my own experience of the many years. Then I have found this, the helping the wounds as well as the fracture. In some of the patients, we find that the fracture is not healed at all, and the wounds also take a lot of time to heal. And in them, we find the mind is totally disturbed, either anxious or deranged mind. And lastly, even Yogi ji has just mentioned that it can increase the quality of the life. It won't cure the cancer, but then the ability to fight with the cancer, and if you want to have a more livelihood that you can live for long years, that can happen with the cancer. And this is a big issue. I'll tell you about this, about the osteoarthritis and the spine. Yoga makes wonders. So what is real yoga? Yoga is not exercises. That is what is the conventional meaning, that they are exercises which does fatigue. Yoga exercise give you fatigue. These are just full range of movements. And while doing movements also, these are not stretching. There's a misconception among the many doctors that this is stretching is yoga. These are just the body movements in their full range to achieve elongation of the muscles, tendons, and the ligaments, whatever structures are there around the joint. When the joints are moved, these structures get elongated. But generally, at most of the centers, this elongation is achieved by passive stretching, and they call this as a yoga. They put on some braces, the belts, and they pull with the machines, and there are so many things that they use. It is not yoga. Yoga is not a stretching exercise. Remember, this is a very important statement. Yogasana or asana is an elongation of these tissues. Elongation, but not by stretching, it is through the body relaxation. So first you have to understand what is body relaxation, and then you relax the body, then gradually the tissues elongate. But your body cannot be relaxed unless your mind is relaxed. So first important thing is the mind relaxation. So how you get the mind relaxation? There are certain methods for that, because it's not so easy. Just relax your mind, relax your mind, relax your body. Doesn't happen. Or just keep out all thoughts from your mind. It just cannot happen practically. It's not so easy. But how it can happen? It can happen when you practice the meditation. Once you practice the meditation, these things then happen really. And along with what is meditation? Meditation, there are three, four main important things. One is rhythmic, rhythm, and breathing patterns. And this is called as pranayama. There are n number of methods of the pranayama, but there are ways which pranayama should be used, where there are definite indications for that. That is a big issue actually. Then second thing is, while doing pranayama, just Swamiji said that you should have a focusing of the mind on one point. Your mind should be completely ekagra. That you are just talking here, you are watching some TVs and doing this breathing, rhythmic only breathing pattern is not going to help you at all. As said that it is the mind control is important into that. This yoga chitta rutti nirodha, that is one sentence. It means whatever comes in your mind, the thoughts which comes in the mind, that is called a chitta, that you should resist those things and do the ekagrata, or what your body wants, what your tongue wants, what your body desires, and if you try to control that, that is really one which gives you good relief, or then the yoga really occurs. And while doing all these things, if you bring your bhav, manatil bhav, that surrendering to Almighty, whosoever is that Almighty, because when yoga started, it was a Sanatan Dharma or the Hindu Dharma, that's why everything there is in the Hindu Dharma. But then if the person of any religion, and he surrenders to his Almighty, even the persons like us also can surrender to Almighty power, of just Almighty power, then you feel the effects of the yoga is totally different. Now, along with this is a positive thinking which comes in the Yam and Niyam. And this state of the mind, as I just described now, focusing and meditation, relax, this has to maintain in all postures. Basically, asanas is not yoga. Asana is just a position during surgery, whether patient is supine, prone, lateral, those positions is called as asanas. And that particular posture, the real surgery is mind relaxation, and which comes out through the meditation. So this is real yoga. So thoughtless, focused, stable, and happy mind is the soul of the whole yoga or the exercises. Now there are many patients who come to us, and because in Pune there are many centers of the yoga, they say, no, don't tell us yoga because it has injured me. Okay, See, passive stretching of body tissues without any relaxation can cause injury. So it's a double-edged sword. So injury while performing yoga is not a fault of the science of the yoga, but is a faulty implementation of the technique of the yoga. Yoga done with the proper principles cannot injure anybody. Even the patients with spasm and the pain, they cannot be injured unless you do it properly in the mind and body relaxation. And another this that complicated postures like Paschimottanasana, Halasana, Chakrasana, they are not required for most of the persons. Those are the persons to be done by the highly advanced persons. It is like attempting, you start joining the class and feel that I cannot do all these things. No, it is not so. It is like attempting to learn 10 standard maths by the second standard student. It is a gradual evolution. It is a gradual learning to be attained by proper exercises. Method should be correct and the regular practices. Such complicated postures are to be practiced only by a person who has achieved mastery in the subject. And don't think that if you cannot do this, then you are not doing yoga. It is not so. But this should not be the aim of an average person who is doing yoga. And don't get depressed if you cannot perform such extreme positions. Yoga is also a training. It is not a straining. Never strain, otherwise you will get sprained or you get injured. So when they get injured, that means there is something wrong either with the speed or the technique of the yoga. Now, the second is the meditation. As I said, there are different ways by which one attend the meditation. I have developed my own methods over a period of time, but you will take a big workshop to explain and teach all these things. At present, what you can do, you can follow any yoga teacher's method, keeping the basic principles in the mind, which I just enumerated. The basic core remains the same, is to achieve the mental and maintain the stable, satisfied, and the happy mind in all positions of the asanas which you are doing. What are the prerequisites for this? That is called again yam and niyam sort of thing, that there has to be strong motivation and desire. If you don't have that, you cannot get excel or rather get benefit of that. It should be persistent as well as perseverance. चिकाटी पाहिजे आणि सतत सातत्य पाहिजे त्याच्यामध्ये. Then what exercise you are doing is also important. You have should have proper choice of exercise. You cannot start all exercise on day one, because it is in the most of the classes, whatever the all the students which are there, sadhak which are there, and one is doing for 10 years and one has just started now and it is done by everybody. It is not so. Another part is that there has to be balance diet. Swamiji has told in detail about this. A diet makes a difference for your mind also. Then proper daily routine, that is a daily workout, avoidance of bad habits we enumerated, and yam and niyam. And this is why I highlighted this, because the techniques are important. All techniques are there, but what is the which techniques which takes you rapidly as well as with less time and less energy, you can achieve maximum. That technique is important. As I said, you get the feeling of attainment after doing the yoga, then you have done a real yoga. It is a subjective feeling. It has to be experienced. No one can explain you. Neither it can be measured by any gadget as like a blood sugar, how much you have, what mind attainment you have done. Every level gives you euphoria or the sense of well-being and feeling that always something. But once you go deeper and deeper, because there are many persons who start doing yoga, they do some basic things and they start feeling better. But they think that that is the end of yoga. But you go deeper into that and you find that there is still something ahead of this feeling I got a few years ago. And it is mentioned that is Ananta Sampatti Bham. How much one can go deeper and deeper and deeper in meditation? One can go infinite. That is which is mentioned. The effects are variable of the yoga. They depend upon, first of all, is the personality, just like our academics. Everybody cannot become a doctor or the specialist. It is the intelligence is a God's gift. Similarly, the personality is a God's gift. Second is their ability to grasp what you are teaching to them. Because initially, it faces long time to understand and to learn and to get anubhuti. If you don't get that anubhuti or the experience in the initial phase, don't worry. It's just a beginning. You are just in the KG. You cannot write an essay in the KG. As I said, persistence, perseverance, continuity, regular practice is required. Important thing is that you should have, if your mind is unstable, rather everybody has got unstable mind to some or other extent. So you should practice about the control of the distraction during when you are practicing this. It is called a sadhana. Diet, as he said, there are small and frequent meals generally we adopt. Never go full stomach, nor for prolonged fasting. Avoid late night food. Rather, 7 p.m. dinner is the real dinner which is there in Jain Dharma, but that has got a scientific basis. Also, avoid excessive non-veg, high calorie, fatty foods. And this is very important for all of us now, especially after you're 50. You should eat only when you're hungry and only till you that hunger is gone. That is in Marathi called as bhukmod. पोट भरण्यापुरतं नाही खायचं, भूकमोड करण्यापुरतं खायचं. And the next thing which I believe, our concepts of the diet are different, and what is our Ayurveda or our old science is telling in a different way. The sattvic, rajas, and tamas diet which are there, as which are mentioned by Yogi. Now, this important part is a positive attitude and thinking. Even if you are doing all your physical exercises, and if you are angry, you are thinking negativity everywhere, you are not going to get the benefits of the yoga. So how that should be attained? Everything around me is good. If you listen to all the lectures or the talks of the B.K. Shivani on YouTube, you'll understand that you should start thinking everybody around me is good, everything around me is nice. The past is part, whatever happened, even if I got some great sadma, forget that, look at the present, look at the future. Always keep smiling. There are certain politicians, if you find even doctors also, always, their face is always smiling one. Never try to defeat anyone in your life. Just try to win everyone. See, winning is different and defeating something different. You are doing the war not to defeat somebody. Don't laugh at anyone, but laugh with everyone. This is a very important part. There is nothing like I'm finished. Now all is over. Everything is gone. Nothing. There is never the end of the road. You have to just change to a new pattern of the life. It is just a mode of the life, and you have to undergo transformation. Then you can become successful even in yoga also. Cut your desires, because there are certain people who have got, as I said, crores and lakhs of rupees of money, but still their desire has not stopped. So you should know that where you should stop and what should your expectation. Same is our practice, same is our everything. Try your best, no doubt about that. It is not that asel maza haritar deil khatल्यावरी. It is not so. You have to work very hard. You should try your best to get the money, to the position, to the achievement, and to the success, but get mentally prepared for the worst. When you are doing that, get mentally prepared for the worst. This is called as positive thinking, which has kept continuously to have the sustained effects of yoga. So it is the mind power which is important. And in the mind, the very important thing is the emotions. With the yoga, you can bring emotions under your control. Emotions are necessary. The lack of emotion is called as schizophrenia. So your emotions should be there, but they should be under your control. You should not be under the control of your emotions. No thought or the decision you are doing should be affected by any of the emotions. Especially we say, never give any decision when you're angry, and whenever you give something to somebody when you're happy. Intellectual people like all of us, they know all these things, that they should, that emotions control everything. But sometimes doctors themselves cannot control this outburst of the emotions. कळतं पण वळत नाही अशी बऱ्याच डॉक्टरांची अवस्था होते. There is mind power. The mind has got tremendous ability. The mind is the one which carries all the emotions. It has a limit of enduring stress load. It is the emotions are there. Emotions give the stress, but then mind has got the capacity. So everybody has got this capacity to bear a certain kind of stress. The persons like, if you see Modi, Sharad Pawar, and all these big politicians, they have got tremendous capacity. They don't act at all under the emotions. But in a common man, there is given capacity. And when there is a disparity between the capacity and the stress load, the stress becomes big and the capacity is less. एका किलोच्या पिशवीमध्ये तुम्ही 5 किलो तांदूळ कोंबून भरायला जाता, आणि मग मनाची जी अवस्था होते त्याच्या शरीरावर त्याचा परिणाम होतो. सो सोल्युशन इज व्हॉट? आयदर यू डिक्रीज द स्ट्रेस, मीन्स एकतर तांदूळ कमी भरा किंवा इन्क्रीज द कॅपॅसिटी. ऑल ऑफ अस आर इन द जेट इरा. We don't want to tune the things. We want to increase this, but then you should increase your capacity. That is how to increase this capacity. I actually searched all the patches. What I said, after age of 40, at that time I decided I am not going to stop. I'm going to work more. Rather, I started working more in last 2-3 years. So what are all the patches which can increase capacity? Is the stress relieving drugs can do that? Mood elevators, alcohol increases capacity, or herbals or Ayurvedic drugs? I found the answer in the principles of the science of the yoga. Remember, it is science and the principles are important. And yoga practice increases this capacity. Decision making in the difficult situation should be there. So you should be able to do that, because sometimes the decisions are taken in the extreme emotional step. And if you are not sufficient mentally, then don't take any decision in such a situation. How to do that? Because you are doing the yoga, but still you cannot achieve, especially the mental power comes after the practice of 10 to 15 years. So, because if you take any such kind of decision in this state of life, unless put otherwise, these decisions, they prove wrong, and sometimes a disastrous complication. भावनेच्या आहारी जाऊन कुठलाही निर्णय घेऊ नका. So what is the remedy? If you are get angry or you are in a stressful situation, first thing, just keep quiet for a few moments. Just spare only 3 or 4 minutes. Close your eyes and the deep inhalation. What is important? The deep breathing is very, very important, deep breathing. And the deep breathing should come through the nose, not through the mouth. And after that, once your whole chest is full, you start exhaling slowly through the open mouth. Take through the nose and send through open mouth. You know, it's like this. And you should start doing this for at least 10 to 20 times, just 10 to 20 times. But these are the few moments. And for this particular moments, whatever problem you are having, whatever stress you are having when during surgery, during death of the patient, everything, for that for 10 or 15 seconds, or you can say 1 minute, you try to take up those things from the mind and just breathe in and breathe out. Don't think or pay attention to anything in this particular period. And then at the end, you just take a deep breath, then open your eyes and then face the situation. You will find there is a tremendous difference in how you face the situation. As we had mentioned, that sleep is very important. It is necessary for rejuvenating. Sometimes there is a question is always asked whether the afternoon sleep should be taken or not. Now there are some people who work only for 8 hours. That also in that 8 hours they do some other things. But the doctors, like all of us, they are working for more than 12 years, 14 hours. So for that, it is better to have afternoon nap of only 30 to 45 minutes. But here should get up as soon as you wake up, because if you remain in the bed, then you get a laziness. So the जागा झालं की क्वार्टरनं पटकन उठायचं. That is very important thing. You should do the meditation before going to bed. Here also, side posture is always good, that all of us know. And there is no need to have the luxury 5-star mattresses to get a good sleep. And the choir mattress is also good for that. Now, as sir has mentioned, there are many types of yoga. The Ashtanga yoga is one which is very important, which disciples your mind. There is Hatha yoga for discipline of the body as well as prana. Bhakti yoga is there, in which spirituality comes, and this is a discipline of the emotions. Karma yoga, what is mentioned in the Gita, is the discipline of the action. Then Jnana yoga is a discipline of the intellect, that what we take a degree, we study something, we study some surgery, that is actually nothing but a yoga also. Then there is a Tantra yoga, which awakes your energy and unite to the Almighty. There is a Mantra yoga. Some people feel that only by doing mantra, Gayatri mantra, any other mantra, that you get a mantra. I have got a separate talk on what is actually mantra and what is science behind the mantra. There you develop power of your concentration. And Kundalini yoga is something different, that the Kundalini yoga is the one we can help you to develop control of your involuntary system, that is autonomic nervous system. Then there are many other yogas like Swara yoga, Nada yoga, Laya yoga, etc. But what is very important, because we have got a much limited time for doing the exercises or the practice. So Om is also important. Om is one of the type of the pranayam. But Om is not a single word or single alphabet. People just say Om, 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 Om. No, Om is not like that. Actually combination of the 4 alphabets. I won't say alphabets also, but these are the certain sounds. They're like a, U, and M. I will show you in the combination, because the proper rhythmic chanting, how you do Om, is very important, with pranayam and the concentration, with the surrendering to Almighty. These all things are important while doing Om. I'll just show you for a half a minute how to do this Om. This first should be learned for at least first 5 to 6 months. All should practice only and after that you can go in the next standard. There's a U, and then and M. M is like you are saying M, but you are not opening your lips. That is called as M. So first I will show only how the is to be done. Take a deep breath and say Oh. Take a deep breath and then open your eyes. This is simple. That is one should practice like so you will. As I said, I had some different philosophy, some different Narayana yoga. The basics are like this. I just show now how the once U takes another 6 months, and then you can go for your mouth is open and your tongue is touched to the palate, and you are saying that is nasal twang, and last is a M. So how that is to be done? Oh. So this is called as the Om. It is according to my own interpretation, and you should start doing this If you do even 10 omkar, rather you practice, all of you practice just and you can do it anywhere, at any time. Whenever you get time, just practice this and let me know what is the result. The one word about the spirituality or the bhakti yoga. Spirituality is nothing but getting connected to Almighty. Whosoever is that, wherever is he, to get connected to the Almighty is called a spirituality. And getting connected to Him is Almighty power, and stay connected, remaining connected there, just like our television channels. You get connected and stay connected. You can feel Him around you, that He is supporting you. भिवू नकोस मी तुझ्या पाठीशी आहे हे जे आहे, that you feel that He is around you in your bad times. Almighty power. Now this almighty power that has been pursued by all the mankind all over the world in different regions, only thing according to different, and that is there for thousands of the years, it has taken different form and the different name, and from where the religion has come. But what I feel, He's there all over, okay, fine, but He's within us also. Okay, everybody has got प्रत्येकाच्यात काहीतरी परमेश्वराचा अंश आहे. What it needs is, you need awakening, and this awakening is done by the meditation. This, all of you must have heard Dvait and Advait concept. So Dvait is, the God is separate, a human being is separate. He's separate, He's all around, but He's separate from us. And there is another body which is saying Advait, that you are a part of the God. The God is within you. Okay, so I believe in these things. In the initial phases, when you are not achieved a certain position or certain phase, He's Advait. But you go deeper and deeper, you start feeling Him inside you also. So first, only thing what you have to do, we have to go to Him and to get connected. As I said, it is different at the different places. It is done by the rituals, it is done by the prayers, it is done by everything. Whenever you do all these things, we try to connect with Almighty God. That is my concept about the spirituality. About the Surya Namaskar, people think that Surya Namaskar, if you do Surya Namaskar alone, it is yoga. It is not so. It is excellent exercise, but it is not adequate one. There is nothing religious about Surya Namaskara. That other religious people, they say, well, we won't do Surya Namaskar. It's not mentioned us. It is nothing religious into that. What is that? Basically, it is a Namaskar, that is a gratitude to the Sun God. So Sun is the one who is a creator of the all universe. I mean, earth and everything on the earth. He is the one who takes care of the earth, whatever is happening in the earth. Because if Sun is not there, even for the Sun is not there for few days, the whole living environment will disappear. And ultimately, it is said that any storm in the Sun is going to destroy whatever there in the earth. So He is a creator, caretaker, as well as destroyer here of the earth. That's why we are saying thanks to Him, gratitude to Sun God. And this gratitude is done to Him in 12 different postures. Okay, then that is called as the asanas, or the 12 postures are there. So core is remaining in the meditation in these asanas, in these 12 Surya Namaskaras. You have to remain in meditation and thank to Him every time. Not says Om Suryaya Namaha. It's not like that. When you are saying gratitude to Him. Bring that bhava, bring that thought in your mind that Hey Surya Devate, Maza Tula Namaskar ahe. Rather, all these things has come up when there was Sanskrit language. What I say now, this mantra should be changed to the Marathi mantra or in the regional languages mantra, so that people should understand the meaning of that particular whatever they are saying. Because somebody was saying Om Namah Shivaya, Om Namah Shivaya, Om Namah Shivaya. Ask him what you are saying. He said, I don't know anything. I just know Om Namah Shivaya matle ki sagal hota. But if he brings in his mind the bhav that Hey Shankara, Hey Devate, mi tula namaskar karto hai, mi tula dhanyavad deto hai, then you get the effect. When if you chant for 108 times, it is not so. If you chant only for 8 or 10 times, bringing that bhav in your mind, then only you will get the effect of that. So one cycle of the Surya Namaskar should take at least 3 to 4 minutes, even if you are a master. I wonder when somebody says that I am doing 50 Surya Namaskar and 100 Surya Namaskara, you are not doing Surya Namaskara. One asana should take at least half of 1 minute. So what you are doing is the push-ups in our normal science. You are not doing real Surya Namaskara, which is mentioned in our Puranas. Another part is that Surya Namaskar is only uni-axial exercise. It is only in the sagittal plane in our language. There is no rotation, there is no lateral flexion, and for perfection in the exercise, you require rotation as well as lateral flexion. But if you can't do anything, if you do Surya Namaskara alone also, that is sufficient, because something is better than nothing. Then there is another part about the Vata Prakriti, which you don't accept in the allopathy. It is a body constitution. Vata Prakriti is a body constitution. I am a person of the Vata Prakriti. I respond differently when the environment changes. The weather has got a lot of effect on the Vata Prakriti. What are the different weathers? It is all seasons. In the cold weather, in the cold floor, you get stiffness and the heaviness of your joints as well as the muscles. Same happens in the cloudy weather, and same happens in the now this heat also. If you sleep directly under the fan or sit directly under the fan or a very low cool AC, then you can get this these Vat Prakriti causes the stiffness and the heaviness in the bones and the joints. So what you require in this season also, what you require actually, the Vat Prakriti people require a lot of ventilation. So if you close the windows and just start the fan, you feel better at that time, but the next day you get a stiffness. So here you keep the windows open and use a table fan rather than ceiling fan. Because as I said, it causes early stiffness, as well as that stiffness remains for a longer time in this particular weather. And it increases according to age. I realized when I was around 20 years of the age, but when I crossed 50, 55, I started feeling the real stiffness. When I get up in the morning, it is very difficult to walk 10 steps, but I do all these body loosening exercises, and then I run for 10 kilometers. In women, it generally starts around 40, but in men, it starts around the age of 50. Those who are having that Vat Prakriti, it is more. And what to take care in the cold weather and the cold cloudy weather, you can go for heating that particular part. Even in these days also, I heat my joints, throat and everything in the morning, and as well as before going to the night, in the heat also. But later on in the rainy season and the cold season, you have to do it frequently. Then what you have to do is to avoid the Vat Prakriti, because you get stiffness if you sit in a one position for a long time. So avoid prolonged sitting and avoid prolonged standing. Because if you have to sit for about 4 to 5 hours, move at least every 30 minutes, you get up from your position and the walk few steps, and again you sit down. Move all parts of body at least 4 to 5 times. Just move the part. This for Vat Prakriti patient. And remember, most of our patients who come in the orthopedic OPD for the cold orthopedics, they are patients of the Vat Prakriti. Especially if you find the change in the season, there is a change in all these right from the plantar fasciitis to the tennis elbow to the shoulder periarthritis, everything, all the such patients, especially the rheumatoid patients, the exacerbation is far more in this particular season. Now this is a little bit of the shoot about Vat Prakriti, which helps in our practice. Now next is the misunderstanding about the yoga. The biggest misunderstanding when I was young, that it is to be done by the old person. Yoga like that. But importance of the yoga, one can understand only after getting the experience of the yoga and the maturity in that particular situation. As I said, there is another misunderstanding is that it is connected with the Hinduism. It is not so. It is when you take the spirituality part into that particular bhav into that, surrendering bhav into that, then that is called as yoga. And that surrender can be anything in any religion. As I said, it has nothing to do with Hinduism. There can be Islamic yoga, there can be Christian yoga. Just Allahu Akbar, what I said, they can say according to that, in that particular position, and get connected to Almighty. Then they will get the same effect. It is a science, it is not the religion. Or some people think that once you start practicing yoga, you become sannyasi. That's how Khanna had become a sannyasi after leaving everything and after earning and achieving a lot of things in his practice. When I was in the initial phase around 20 years ago, I started practicing. I started feeling that I should leave orthopedics and everything, and I should become sannyasi, because that gives you sudden different angle where you can have far more pleasure than your earthly things. So that is what misunderstanding. You can be in a family, you can be Kutuba Vatsala person and practice yoga. Another part, that yoga requires a lot of time. No, it is not so. It doesn't require special area, and there is no need to have special dress code as the fancy things in most of the gyms and the centers. There is no need. You can practice in any dress. It's the mind situation. It's not the dress situation. So I'll just show you certain results in the osteoarthritis of the knee. Can you see this? These are the X-rays, AP X-rays of the joint, advanced arthritis of the patient, AP lateral X-ray. And this 2 months after yogic exercise, this person can sit like this. This is a dream of every patient in our OPD, that he should be able to sit like this. 1.5 years later, still he was able to sit like this in that particular X-ray. Okay, he can sit in Vajrasana also. This cannot be done, but this can be achieved after practicing yoga. This is another case, highly advanced osteoarthritis with the subluxation of the joint, and AP lateral X-ray. This is a AP front picture. This is a back picture. You can see that. But this lady, you can see the smile on her face. Now how she can sit easily with the cross-leg position. She can sit very well in the Vajrasana, and she can get squatting in spite of these X-rays, and there is no pain you can see on her face. Then another application is recovery from the spine surgery. That is 3-level wide laminectomy for the severe canal stenosis and the progressive neurodeficit. And this condition, in the 3 weeks post-operative, I have shown the scar here. In 3 weeks post-operatively, the patient can bend forward like this. I showed the scar and I showed this position. This can happen within 3 weeks of the post-operative condition. You can do this, but this is not mentioned in your books. Rather, forward bending is banned in spine situation, which is a totally wrong concept. Another case, Mr. Chorge, who was acute PID. He had got acute PID and monoplegia after sneeze. A simple sneeze gave him monoplegia. So emergency discectomy done at L4, L5 level. His monoplegia recovered after that. 6 months, he was absolutely all right, but he developed a severe aseptic discitis after 6 months. And this is the AP X-ray and this is the lateral X-ray. At this level, he has developed aseptic discitis. This is the MRI scan. You can see there that what is situation of disc space here. Then a neurosurgeon, he went to neurosurgeon. He advised him anterior decompression, fusion, and instrumentation and whatnot. And otherwise, then he said you have to be in a full spike up to the chest for about 3 months. The patient refused of any of these things. He came to me back again and he agreed to go for the exercises. 3 months later, he can have this much forward bending. He can have this much extension. He can have this much forward flexion and the rotation on one side and as well as on another side. This is a wonder which can be done without any surgery. So epilogue is that this is a vast subject, as Swamiji mentioned. The time available for the explanation is too short. As I said, I can have a full day workshop on yoga to explain everything what we do. Then I have given just the flavor of the subject. Most of these are my own views developed after 30 years of the study of the yoga and the analysis of that, as well as my application in my private practice, that I have found that it has got a very important role in the practice, but this is going to play a big role in the future therapeutic as well as preventive medicine. That's why our own president has now given the theme that the fitness as well as yoga can be done to control the diseases. And this will not only help for the body, but it will help to control the conflicts also in our family, in the society, as well as in the world if they practice yoga regularly. But it still requires a dedicated research and the long-term evaluation in coordination with the medical fraternity, because that has to come along with the medical practitioners. There may be certain controversial statements which are sheerly my views in this particular talk, but my opinion or all the statements are founded on the knowledge of the yoga experience. Knowledge is whatever others are doing, then my own experience and the analysis. I believe nature is a God. So we are part of the nature. We have to just understand that nature, respect the nature, and follow the nature. So lastly, I will say to all of you, stay safe, stay healthy, and stay happy, and stay blessed. Thank you very much. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, Karne sir, for a nice talk. It was really indeed a very informative talk. Yoga as science of body and mind fitness. Thank you very much. Now, as second talk is over, with President's permission, can we conclude today's?
No, you can have a interaction with Swamiji and Narayanji Karne, because both have given a very, very detailed exposition of the subject. And I can say that Karne sir has given all aspects of the yogas and what are the benefits and everything. Bharat Gupta also has said about this yoga and what are the benefits and everything. So I will think these both.
If there are any questions, are there any questions on the YouTube or the Facebook on that? Who is controlling YouTube? If there are any questions, they can be also answered.
No, but I think you should interact with each other.
That will do after interaction. If there are any questions,
no, there are no questions, but you can interact with this. So that we'll have a 10 minutes for interaction between the two stalwarts, and then we'll close the.
Karne sir. गाडेगोणे सर, मी बोलू का 1 मिनिट?
Yes, you are free to do.
हे थोडं मराठी किंवा हिंदी मध्ये असेल ना तर जनरल पब्लिक करता दिस इज गोइंग टू बी व्हेरी गुड. कारण यांचं ओव्हरऑल खूप मोठं आणि व्हास्टली कव्हर केलेलं आहे पूर्ण सब्जेक्ट, पण तो सगळा इंग्लिश मध्ये झाला. त्याला मराठी किंवा हिंदी मध्ये हे करून त्यांनी
माझं हे भाषण मी सगळ्यांना मराठीमध्ये देत असतो, पेशंटना आणि सर्वांना मी मराठीमध्ये देत असतो. साईड त्याच असतात, पण पेशंटला आता आपलं see we are thinking our crowd is orthopedic surgeons all over Maharashtra. That's why I gave in the English, but this talk is mainly in the Marathi.
आपण जनरल पब्लिकला पण देणार आहोत, तर तुम्ही बघा.
करणे सर,
अपलोड करून.
हा सावजी सर.
हा नाही, तुमचं खूपच सुंदर आहे आणि ते हिंदी मध्ये मराठी मध्ये असेल तर आम्हाला आम्ही प्रपोगेट करू लोकांना. तुम्ही जर काही आम्हाला हेल्प केली तर
No
I
problem,
think,
sir. I will try
I
my best.
think Karne sir's talk is very nice talk. We can share, Karne, I will request Karne sir to share it on MOA executive group. And while presenting, though it is in English, you can present in Marathi to common public. You can take that points and you can explain it to Marathi.
Same slides you can take, same slides and explain into the Marathi.
Yes,
But
yes.
still, I will what as Savji sir said and Nahata sir said, I will try my best to do it in Marathi also.
नाही, आम्हाला रोटरी मध्ये वगैरे चांगलं आहे.
अरे,
रोटरी
तुम्ही
आपण
काम करा
इथं-
सावजी सर, कसं करता येईल, तुम्ही रोटरी क्लब मध्ये एक मराठी लेक्चर ठेवा आणि ते रेकॉर्ड करा. म्हणजे एकदा बोलता बोलता ऑटोमॅटिकली तुमच्या लेक्चर पण तिथे होऊन जाईल आणि रेकॉर्डिंग ते झालं मराठीमध्ये. कारण का ते एका फ्लो असं बसून करायचं म्हटलं तर अवघड जातं, वेळ मिळावा लागतो तो. पण याच्या ह्याच्यात होऊन जातं ते. तर असं एखादा लेक्चर झालं ते रेकॉर्ड केलं गेलं, आपल्या जो कोणी याचा म्हणजे टीव्ही हे कंडक्ट करणारे जे आहेत, होस्ट आहेत, ते रेकॉर्ड करू शकतात आणि त्यावेळी रेकॉर्ड करून सगळ्यांना देता येतं आपल्याला. तर कुठला एका प्रोग्राम तुम्ही सोशल अरेंज करा. We can go in. There are many subjects. I will put you many subjects. What to do after 50. त्या बेसिक थिंग्स काय काय आहेत. फक्त प्राणायामावर आहे. आता मी सांगितलेलं लेक्चर आहे कॉम्प्रेहेन्सिव्ह, सगळं थोडं एकत्र घेतलं होतं सगळ्या याच्यामधलं. तर याच्यामध्ये तुम्ही असं एखादं लेक्चर ठेवलं आणि अरेंज केलं की मग आपल्याला ते रेकॉर्ड करून सर्वांना देता येईल.
बरं. गुप्ताजी,
Swamiji.
Yes, sir.
you have rightly said कि these all exercises and pranayam and this is the yogasana, they are very truly beneficial in the initial stages of a disease when it is in the psychic stage and it has not gone into the organic stage, organ based stage. So I think this is a true picture because most of the yogacharyas, they say that we can cure kidney disease, we can cure cancer disease. And I cannot quote the names also, but this is emphasized benefits of the hair. So you have given a true picture that some of the
Thank you.
things cannot be cured. We have to take the help of a modern medicine. Now
Yes.
I am Dr. Karne also had said that these are all motivational things, and if it is practiced in a regular fashion, then and then you can get the benefit. Otherwise, it's a notice. So mind should be prepared first for doing all these things, and I think this is the crux of this webinar. And if you want to interact one or two sentences, because we are all allopathic doctors, modern medicine doctors, and you also believe in ancient this medicine and yogas, so you can get clear one or two questions with each other.
When Swamiji has said that, what he said that it is really useful in the preventing of diseases, especially the viral diseases, the metabolic diseases in the initial phase. If you do this, it can be prevented. But even when you get diseased also, but in kidney disease also, if you go for that, whatever the treatment you are taking, it is complementary or it is supplementary to the modern medicine treatment. So it can be given in all even disease also. As I said, for a fracture patient or for a spine surgery patient, all these patients, they should start, especially those who are doing already yoga, it is very easy because yoga is not like a medicine. You take a medicine and you get effect in half an hour, you give IV medicine, effect comes in within few minutes. It's not so. Yoga is a sadhana. Yoga is a practice. It's like achieving any skill. If you want to become a cricketer, if you want to become an artist, you cannot just join a class of 5 days and you can become an artist and the cricketer. You have to learn that particular technique. You have to practice that technique. You have to hone the technique. Again, you should go back to your guru. You should ask, show him whether you are doing correct technique or not, and go on practicing it. Then you go to the next step. Then you go to the next step, and then you start getting the really results of the yoga. It is like education. When a person goes for study and he passes 10th or 12th standard, his father, who is illiterate one or a farmer one, who says that bas enough is enough now, the education is enough. Okay, अभी 12 बरस अभी पढ़ाई की, अभी बहुत कुछ हो गया. अभी आप क्या क्या कम है 12 बरस में? अभी बीएससी और डिग्री और पोस्ट डिग्री लेने के बाद भी अभी लोग उतना कमा नहीं सकते. So it doesn't mean that education is bad. The only thing you will get the effects of the education when you perfect into that, and then you will start getting benefit of the education. So similarly, everybody should start practicing when they are healthy. So when they become unhealthy, if you go and do that particular part, then you will have better results, because the way this COVID has happened was the main thing was the mind was suppressed. It is more part was that those who are powerful with the mind, they did not get the COVID. Immunity also depends upon the mind state as well as the body state, but mind state is more important. So one should start practicing yoga regularly, and then only they can utilize. One should start practicing. Even Hrithik Roshan was dancing 8 hours a day and then he could dance in that way. Sachin Tendulkar was practicing 10 to 12 hours, and then you can face any fast bowler or any bowler in the world. Similarly, the crux is everybody should practice, and then they can utilize in their own as well as their patients. But yoga is such a fantastic thing. If you even do for 8 or 10 days or for 15 days, you feel better. You know, if you start reading A, B, and C, you know, ABC, you start feeling better. Arey, main abhi pad raha hoon. But there is something more than that. Some people are happy with even less practice. You be happy, but you can get more than that if you practice more in better way.
So, the Shinde sir, now you
Yes, sir.
conclude and also welcome for tomorrow's webinar.
Yes,
ठीक
sir.
है भरत जी, I am very happy that you are.
एक मिनिट गाडेगोणे सर,
बोला ना.
मला एकच शब्द सांगायचा आहे. कर्णे इज स्पाइन सर्जन, कर्णे इज आर्थोप्लास्टी सर्जन. इन स्पाइट ऑफ ऑल दिस, he has shown such a good result with yoga. This is amazing. Yes, it's amazing.
आता आपण त्यांना नाव की नाही ते करू, नारायण स्वामी आपण त्यांना नाव
देऊ. आणि आपला प्रोग्राम अतिशय सुंदर सुरुवात झाली. आय मस्ट कॉंग्रॅच्युलेट यू ऑल. आज पहिला दिवस होता आपला आजचा याचा, आणि दिस इज फॅन्टॅस्टिक.
परंतु माझी सर्व एक्झिक्युटिव्हना विनंती आहे की उद्या सर्वांनी राहायला पाहिजे. वी आर ऑल वन टुगेदर. सो वी आर ऑल्सो हॅव्हिंग डिस्कसिंग टुमॉरो व्हेरी इम्पॉर्टंट सब्जेक्ट्स. And Karne sir, thank you very much, and Bharat Gupta ji, thank you very much for your wonderful deliberation, and we'll try to do something good, one single webinar someday or other in the month of August or July, so where we can involve Ayurveda Charya, Yoga Charya, Karne sir, and again, so we'll do it, don't worry. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you.
चल सर्वांना नमस्कार आणि उद्या भेटू.
Yes, sir.
चला, धन्यवाद.
Thank you.